Because connecting can be a powerful antidote, and your love and support could make all the difference and be the connection they need.
Sports 1440. Radio station. CKJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
Have your sports curiosity cured.
Lane Hudson did get credited with a shot in Game 7. He had 5 shots. Gets it in.
A veteran of the sports reporting game for over 25 years.
Gets it back. Drives inside. Finds Anunoby. George may have gotten a piece of it. Back out Bridges. Shot clock at 4. Bridges puts it up. Puts it in. Mikal Bridges nails the jumper. It's a 6-point lead.
Breaking down Edmonton's favorite teams.
Pass up the middle. Kreider. Again, it's Hannafin back. For carry over to play the puck. In front. Stop. 2-0 Ducks. Leo Carlson extends the Anaheim lead.
This is Sports 1440 and the Kevin Karius Show.
All right, here we go for Sol 661, Thursday, May the 6th. So glad you could join us on the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440. And guess who's back a little later in the show? Yes, Ladislav Schmid, after, about a 5-6 week hiatus when he was over in Europe doing a whole bunch of coaching at the Under-18 World Championship. Laddie will be in the 9 o'clock hour, so make sure you hang around for that. Yeah, good morning. Welcome to the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440 on your AM radio dial on your morning drive into work. You can also watch us on YouTube at Sports 1440 AM. Drop us a like, a subscription. We would appreciate that. We're also on X, Facebook, Instagram, and the old Twitch. And as always, we are streaming on the many services that are out there on iHeartRadio, the TuneIn app, even on sports1440.ca. And if you miss any part of any show, it turns into the many podcasts that are out there on Apple, Spotify, Google, even Amazon. Please subscribe, select the auto download. You'll never miss a second of any show. And man, are we looking for pretty good temperatures heading in to the weekend. It was one of the best mornings coming into work where you didn't really have to have a jacket, or maybe you could just have a thin jacket, but we're looking really good all the way through Mother's Day and into next week. So finally, we're out of just the bad month of April, and May's looking pretty good here. So glad you could come along for the drive here on the morning show. Spend a little time, and we'll talk a little hockey. We've got some baseball, some basketball talk. There were 2 games in the NHL last night in the Stanley Cup playoffs. The Buffalo Sabres drew first blood in their series with the Montreal Canadiens, winning 4-2, and so important for Buffalo to establish home ice in this series, because in their last series against Boston, they really didn't do that, did they? Because they won 3 road games in Boston and only won the 1 game at home. And the difference, too, for Buffalo moving forward, and that was kind of at the end of the season, then going into the playoffs, well, the power play. Their power play was just absolutely abysmal. It went 1 for 46 when you combine the last few weeks of the regular season and then into the playoffs. So a combined 1 for 46 since April the 2nd. But they get 2 power play goals last night. And man, oh man, that was one of the big differences. One of the big differences in the Buffalo win over Montreal last night. And then also the later game. Anaheim, Duke's Ducks get back in the series. It's tied 1-1, a 3-1 victory over Vegas. Now, that, to be 1-1, okay, that's a big thing. But the most important thing here with Anaheim, the style of play, because they were relentless. It looked like playoff hockey, and all of a sudden, after watching these guys defend or lack of defending for most of the season, not all of it, for most of the season, now you're watching these guys like dogs on a bone. Man, they are playing hard. And then when you look at little things like what the coach does and takes 2 guys out of the lineup and separates really the fourth line, which was so good against the Edmonton Oilers. And they put in Jansen Harkins and they put in Ross Johnson, take out Ian Moore and Mason McTavish. And now you think about that and the difference of the makeup of the lines and everything else. And Anaheim wins at 3-1. It should have been a shutout. Really, it should have been a shutout. Ross Johnston didn't have to take a stupid penalty at the end, and Vegas scored on the power play with, 6-7 seconds left or whatever it was. The only concern for Anaheim last night was their power play, which was so lethal against the Oilers in the first round because you saw it operate at a 50% clip. Went 0 for 5 last night, and they had about a minute and a half, 5-on-3, generated nothing. And then a 5-on-4 because it was a carryover from a 4-minute minor penalty to Jack Eichel on a high stick. Generated nothing. Zip. That's the only thing that was bad about Anaheim's play last night. Vegas had some chances in the third. You got to give them that. I wouldn't say there was a shift or two where maybe you looked at Anaheim sitting back a little bit, but I mean, Vegas had a power play and had some great chances. Mikael Granlund, unbelievable block just outside the crease to keep it a 2-0 game at that point. And that was probably the big play of the game. So, hey, as far as the Oilers go, a couple notes yesterday, and good on Matthias Ekholm, Josh Szymanski heading out to the World Championship. Ekholm will play for Sweden, Szymanski for Germany. They join Evan Bouchard and Darnell Nurse, who will play for Canada. A lot of people thought, well, maybe Ekholm was out of favor, wasn't in sync with the brass with Sweden. But I think when you have a different hierarchy at the Worlds as you had at the Olympics, maybe that changes. So good on Matthias Ekholm heading out there. Text line 833-401-1440. Ontario Momes says, was Anaheim's power play lethal or was the Oilers' penalty kill just that bad? The Ducks have a 100% buy-in to Q and his system. Well, last night, again, that style of play, that is way different than what we saw even in the series for a lot of points, a lot of segments, periods, shifts, whatever you want to call it, in the Oilers' first-round series because they played hard. And the biggest thing about how Anaheim played last night was how they connected from player to player, not only when they had the puck, but when they didn't have the puck. When they had a player forechecking or angling off another player. What that does is basically it simply puts the player that has the puck into a position where he's got to move it somewhere. Now, if you have that second guy on top of that layer that second guy to where that puck's going, now where the puck is going to the opposition, that's in question. And now there's a battle there, or it's a missed pass, or it's a turnover on possession. And that is what Anaheim did last night. Hey, might as well welcome in the Duke of Delburne. Now we're talking about the Ducks. Duke, I don't know, because you were playing slow pitch and stuff, and not even a real Ducks fan if you're playing slow pitch.
Well, that's the beauty of the modern world in which you live, Kev. I can always watch it after the fact, which I did when I listened to the third period of my drive home and then watched periods 1 and 2 upon arriving home and having a little bite to eat before calling it a night. So, yeah, it is weird because compared to so many games in the entire regular season and then even here in the playoffs, anyone, Duke. This you got to give a lot of credit to the team and to Coach Quenneville for a complete heel turn on the way they played, and especially when you talk about the lineup changes and different line combinations that he threw together out there. The one thing that we'd seen is really steady all playoffs long. He juggled other things, but that second line of Killorn, Seneca, and Granlund had really remained together. He switches that up, and it yields a couple, a goal for Seneca, but then also a line when you put Gauthier up there with the two veterans. They were the best line all night, even if they weren't necessarily rewarded with it with a goal on the score sheet. So
VL sets up Seneca.
Exactly right. He seems to be pushing all the right buttons with this team, and the Ross Johnston insertion, I think it was just a matter of time before we saw that. Listen, Ian Moore has done some real yeoman's work, clearly trusted and really leaned on by the staff as a defenseman playing forward for a good chunk of the season. But Johnston is really appreciated with what he brings physicality-wise, speed and size. I was surprised to see McTavish pulled from the lineup. And it was late. When they did line rushes and warm-ups, it was business as usual. It's not like McTavish has played particularly poorly, but he's kind of been going through it, ups and downs all season long. And so Q pulls on that string. I'm sure we'll see him back in at some point before it's all said and done.
That's where I'm going to go next. I think you got to agree with this. I think you got to agree. I think he goes back in next game.
I wouldn't be shocked at all. And Jansen Harkins gets the empty net goal, and he played fourth line the entirety of the night, and he does can kill some penalties as well. But I do think that it wouldn't surprise me one bit to see McTavish back in come Friday night for game number 3.
I just think you don't want to mess around too much with a young guy's head here.
Right.
And we know that he's a pretty good talent, but this also, it sends a message. And that also, now if you put him back in, maybe you're going to get a better version of it.
A little fire under the keister, right? So, you're always looking for that, towing that line between motivation and as you said, maybe pushing a guy a little bit too far from the mental aspect of things. So I was really impressed with the defensive commitment to the game. Dostal was good. He made a few really good saves, particularly in the third period and the early going, when the Ducks, really the only time all night they were kind of on their heels in the first 5 minutes of the third or so, right before they scored the 2-0 goal, the Leo Carlson one. I was stunned, really, Kevin, because this isn't a version of the Ducks that we've seen very often, if at all, to this level nearly all season long.
Yeah. Text 833-401-1440. Daryl says, where the heck is Zellweger? Does he get moved? No, you don't move a defenseman like that at all, Daryl. But he's a guy that right now he's learning just watching. And if he's your seventh defenseman or whatever you want to call it, because look at Radko Gudas, played the first game. He's probably not going to see the ice for the rest of the Stanley Cup playoffs unless there's a lot of injuries and the Ducks go deep. But right now, Hellison's playing quite well, and Hines is playing quite well. So, and again, you have that third pairing defense system going where you only need 10, 12 minutes a night out of that third pairing, because the horses are eating up so many minutes. As I said, Daryl, and we talked about this with the Duke a while back, the only bad thing about this Ducks team is right now, if they have a deep, deep run, how much can you go with 4 guys on the back end? They're doing it right now, but the grind is there. It's staring at you in the face on a long run. Got to mention a couple other things around the NHL. And I think the big news across the league was the salary cap being announced, that it's going to go up about $8.5 million to $104 million. Now, it basically gives you one more elite player, but you got to have room as well, even to deal with the other things. Now, if you do a quick tabulation on the Oilers salary cap situation, and maybe this could be a little homework assignment for our Josh Fenwick over the course of the morning, because I just did it really quickly this morning. And I believe the Oilers are roughly around 84.7, call it between 84.5 to 85. That doesn't include Jack Campbell, and he goes up to 2.6 next year on his buyout. So that leaves the Oilers roughly 16.7 to 17 million, somewhere in there. And that doesn't include all the players that have not been signed yet. So you can look at the guys like Murphy, like Dickinson. There are other possibilities that you're looking at. But they're using up a lot of cash really on the back end next year. When you look at 10.5 for Bouchard, 9.25 for Nurse, 4 for Ekholm, 7 for Wallman, and Emberson still at 1.3. So that's a fair bit of change on the back end for sure. But I think they've got somewhere to work with like 16.7. Might be off by a couple $100,000 because I was just kind of spitballing it. But that's what they have to work with too. And then, the NHL ratings in the States, massive increase in the first round, up about 68%, which means it tells you how much the Olympic gold medal meant. And this is a carryover from what the Americans did, and the rally that provided to hockey fans and non-hockey fans, because You're luring in non-hockey fans here. That's what did it. So that is a byproduct of what you would have seen with the American Olympic hockey team success. Jays with the day off today after losing to Tampa 3-0. They just, I mean, they had 4 hits the whole game. McClanahan was really good again, but Vladimir Guerrero, he's searching. He's got nothing. They need to find some bats, and they need to find him quick. A day off, and then LA visits on tomorrow in Toronto. In the NBA last night, San Antonio comes back in a big way, beats Minnesota 133-95. That series is even at 1. And the New York Knicks beat the 76ers 108-102 to take a 2-0 series lead in that series. Hey, coming up on the big program, we are going to preview tonight's lone game in the NHL with the Carolina Hurricanes in Philadelphia to take on the Flyers. Mike Maniscalco, Carolina Hurricanes play-by-play man, will be with us right after the break. We got Mark Spector and Frank Saravelli, our double-barrel shotgun hockey insiders, at 8 o'clock and 8:20 respectively. We'll bust down the NBA games from last night and look forward, plus the Stingers get going this weekend with Paul Sir from Hoop City. We've got another edition of Cam and Eggs, and as mentioned off the top, he's back, baby. Ladislav Schmid will slide in around 9:30 after a lengthy trip to Europe where he was coaching the Czech under-18 team at the World Championship. Laddie's going to be with us for the rest of the playoffs, and then he's going back to Czech, not permanently, but for a couple of years, because he's going to be coaching as an assistant coach with Sparta Prague. Starting, and he's taking his family over there. We've talked about this for the last several months, but that's where Laddie's heading out after July. So Laddie will be with us at 9:30. Tons to digest and talk about because we haven't seen him for a while. We had him on the video link for a couple of shows early on when he was in Europe, but it'll be good to have him back in the saddle. When we come back, Mike Maniscalco, Carolina Hurricanes play-by-play man on the Kevin Carey Show with the Duke of Delburne, Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440 AM radio. We're streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. No one's ever accused car shopping to be fun. I mean, think about it. Awkward standoffs to get a price. Let me go talk to my manager. Dealers asking for your credit card, then melting your phone if you say no. See, not fun. At Northgate, I promise you a different experience. We make it fun. And you will like us, I promise. 0% financing, a great selection of new and pre-owned units. So for some fun, stop in today. 13215 97th Street or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
Today on Hey Culligan, how smart is your water? Here's Tracy.
Hey, Culligan. I think my water might be dumb.
Good news, Tracy. Your water's not dumb. It's just not talking to you.
You can make my water talk.
No, but the new Culligan Smart Drinking Water System can talk to your phone to tell you when your water filters need changing and help you meet drinking water goals.
Now that's some brilliant H2O.
You said it, Tracy, and we're already on the way. Let us help you out with a free in-home water test from a local Culligan water expert at culligan.ca.
Don't let equipment failure stop you cold. At AWS Welding in Nisku, our factory-trained service techs are on hand for all welding equipment repairs. We're a fully warranted center for Miller, Lincoln, and ESAB. And we service all makes and models. Proper, regular service extends the life of your gear and keeps it running at peak capacity. Don't wait for a breakdown. Book your service appointment today at 780-979-0470. AWS Welding. We make it happen.
Don't miss a moment of Blue Jays baseball this season. Join play-by-play announcer Ben Shulman for the game live on Sports 1440. The Toronto Blue Jays are on Edmonton's home for all things sports. Sports 1440.
At Metal Supermarkets, they're all about value added. In addition to a warehouse bursting with steel, aluminum, all the good stuff, and cut fast, they offer a ton of value-added services. Metal bending, drilling, punching, notching, welding, and back hair waxing. Oh, sorry, I meant plasma cutting. Anybody seen my glasses? Metal Supermarkets, the convenience stores for... And value-added options, too, even delivery. Southside, West End, metalsupermarkets.com.
Heard of Uline? You know, the have-it-all in-stock, ready-to-deliver shipping and industrial supply specialists. The company that does things for you that are unheard of, like keeping 41,000 items in stock in our own warehouses. With customer service reps on the line to get you what you need, when you need it, 24/7, 365, every time. Maybe you heard it here first. Want to hear more? Visit uline.ca. ULINE. your shipping and industrial supply specialists.
Have your sports curiosity cured with the Kevin Karius Show. This is Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program, 7:20 in Edmonton, and time now for the Puck Report, brought to you by Fountain Tire. And at Fountain Tire, we focus on one thing and take care of your vehicle, and that is the number one priority. Your focus is to enjoy driving worry-free. So book your appointment at fountaintire.com today as we welcome back Mike Maniscalco, Carolina Hurricanes play-by-play man. Good morning, Mike. You're with Kevin Karius. Thanks for jumping on Sports 1440 this morning. Really appreciate it.
Good morning, Kevin. Happy to be on with you.
So, I was thinking about the 2010 draft, Mike. I was down in Los Angeles to see the draft. And of course, the Oilers had the number one pick, and it was Taylor Hall. And I think now, 16 years later, here we are, Mike, and watching Taylor Hall, it's like, where did those 16 years go? But man, oh man, is he playing well. Just a thought on the former Oiler, Mike, and how much he's been contributing so far to this Carolina playoff run.
You can look at the points, Kevin, and that's the thing that I think jumps off the page for everybody, the fact that he's gotten a point in every game this postseason so far for Carolina. But for me, it's much more than that. It's how he fits in with the system, how he fits in with the team and his teammates. And, you can make the case that he has not played this well since his MVP season in New Jersey. He had a couple of good years in Boston, but, he's comfortable. And you go back to, I'm sure that young man you met in 2010, and Taylor will tell you he's a vastly different human being from that guy. And, with some of the stops that he's had, he has said it several times. He just wants to win now, right? He's done pretty much everything that you want to do in the NHL, except be part of a Stanley Cup champion and get to the Stanley Cup. So when he got to Carolina last year, it's kind of funny because the former number one overall pick was an afterthought on that big deal that sent Mikko Rantanen to Carolina. But here comes Taylor Hall, right? And he basically right away, told Rod Brind'Amour, when Rod Brind'Amour had the conversation with him about, hey, these are our expectations. He goes, whatever you need me to do, I'll do. And he's been that guy. He's been a fourth liner when he got here, and now he is on arguably the hottest line in the National Hockey League, at least in the postseason, with Logan Stankoven and Jackson Blake. And he's just been a great fit. And he's been, Kevin, he's been a total pro. I think if you wanted me to sum up, like, how has he been in Carolina, he has just been a pro, knowing what his role is, how can he help out. And, now everything's falling into place for him. And he looks like that guy who was the number one overall pick for the Oilers.
Before we get to that makeup of the second line, Mike, again, so when you say, he wants to win so badly, and, everyone knows how much sand is in the hourglass here too, but is it Rod Brind'Amour bringing some out, or is it him getting to a stage where he's older and wiser? Is it a combination of both, or what do you think?
No, it's the combination of both, because it's I've said this to almost everybody when they ask me about Rod Brind'Amour and how is he as a coach. And I'm like, if you can't play for Rod Brind'Amour, the problem isn't Rod Brind'Amour. The problem is you, right? So I think that it's because Rod knows, because he's been there, right? In every phase of the game, he's been there. So he knows how to, especially with veteran players and guys who want to win, because how long did it take for Roddy to climb the mountain? He'd gotten there with Philly and got swept by the Red Wings. And then, he gets there with Carolina, and there's Detroit again to knock him out. And then he finally hoists the cup. So I think especially for those veteran players who are desperate to get that win, to feel that feeling and to have that taste, he really can relate to them. But he brings out the best in everybody, because you take a look at what he has done with that line. If you'll allow me to just move away from it, he's the guy who said, no, we can make Logan Stankoven our second center, our second line center, and it's going to work. And it's been a work in progress, and it still is, but right now it's paying off huge dividends. But I think that, back to your original question, it's both. It's A and B, and that's why we're seeing what we're seeing out of Taylor Hall right now.
So why, Mike, is that second line so good? Why do they feed off each other so well?
High hockey IQ. I can give you all the cliche answers for it, Kevin. But the thing is, they are cliches for a reason because they're right. They're relentless. They have high hockey IQ. They hardly ever lose a 50-50 battle. These aren't the biggest guys on the ice, but they are just dogs going after the puck. You can see Logan Stankoven. There's a play earlier this year against the Islanders where, Scott Mayfield has got about a foot and maybe 60 pounds on Logan Stankoven, and Stankoven delivers that reverse, the reverse Forsberg hit along the boards, and Mayfield gives up the puck and it leads to a goal. So they just play with this relentless sense of it's my puck and you're not going to take it away from me. And then there's chemistry between the three of them because they all kind of know their role right now. It's not, who's going to be driving the line or, who's the passer or who's the shooter. They all understand, hey, we've just got to get to our place. It's great positional hockey for the Canes with this line. They rarely find themselves out of place. That I think is one of the impressive things about it, but it's just their mindset and how relentless they are going after the puck.
Mike Maniscalco, Carolina Hurricanes play-by-play man, our guest on the Kevin Carey Show here on Sports 1440. When I found out you were coming on, Mike, last night, I was doing a little research, doing a little surfing. I saw an article from Pat Welter from WRAL Sports, and he was talking about Logan Stankoven, and right around the break where he kind of, had a refocus, and he talked to his dad. And I was wondering maybe if you can just speak to that and how that, I guess, helped him reset for the back half of the season and now the playoffs.
Well, if you take a look wherever Logan's been, Kevin, he's been a contributor like at the top of the score sheet. He's either been the leading goal scorer, the leading point getter for his teams. Go back to Kamloops, go back to when he played for the Texas Stars in the AHL when Dallas drafted him. He was that kind of producer. And I think with the move to center, where he really hadn't played it in, it's one thing to play it in junior or one thing to play it coming up. It's another thing where if you've been moved to the wing in your pro career and now you're being asked to do it again, and the demands that come with it, it's not just the points. It's you've got to get good in the face-off circle. You have to play a 200-foot game. You have to be above the puck. The majority of the time, you're the guy who, we put centers. We all have this mindset of the old days with Gretz, right? With Wayne Gretzky in the middle and his two, and he goes in and sets everything up. Well, the game has changed since then. And I think for Logan, the fact that he wasn't producing to his standard. He was producing, he was being productive, but this is a guy who thinks that he should be a 30-goal scorer, 40 assists, like no excuses to his game. And I think that the other parts of the game, winning in the face-off circle, everybody thinks it's super easy. It's not. And when you're a rookie, those linesmen are not, or a second-year guy, those linesmen, Kevin, if you're lining up, and I'll use Luke Glendening as the example here tonight in Philly. Luke, who's been at it forever, he's going to get the advantage, right? He's going to, his skate can move a little bit early and whatever. And it gets frustrating for the young guys to get to it. But he is just, and I know I keep using the word competitor, but he's so competitive. And I think it was getting to the point of it wasn't happening fast enough for him. And that's where his dad had the wise words of like, just have fun, just relax. It's going to come to you. And, every practice he works with Rod Brindamore without fail, taking faceoffs. Every practice he and Jackson Blake are two of the last guys off the ice. And that's including the extras who are skating. And it's just that mindset. But, sometimes you need the reminder, it's a game. It's okay. Things are going to work out. And his ability to go with his desire to be as good as he is, I think that's why we've seen him with the 6 goals. And, that playoff series against Ottawa was just off the charts with what he did in those 4 games.
Is Rod winning the bulk of the draws after practice against Stanky or what?
No, he's dropping the puck. So,
oh, too bad, man. I thought he was going at it with him.
No. If you bring that up, and I would be reminded of the Dodgers in 1988. Tommy Lasorda had Sandy Koufax throw batting practice, and Lasorda told Koufax, "You got to stop." And Sandy said, "Why?" And he goes, "Because none of my guys can hit you." So I don't think that Roddy would want any of his guys to take a draw against him. He'd still be 55% today if he played.
He probably, if he played today. And at 55 years old or
maybe more. I might be underselling. He might be at 65% knowing Rod.
Well, he's stronger on the stick than pretty well everyone's like. Mike Maniscalco with his Sun Sports 1440. The first line, so as well as the second line is playing, give us an assessment on the first line, and are they close to clicking? I mean, and I'm just looking at points-wise here, and points-wise here, Mike.
Yeah, I think they are. The game 4 against Ottawa, they were really back to being a dangerous line and getting on the board. But, you saw in game 2, it wasn't there. So Rod mixed up the group and he put Logan Stanko in. That line is going to stay together, but he put Seth Jarvis on the line with Jordan Stahl. And I thought that it would be Jordan Martinook, but Jordan Martinook moved up to the line with Aho and Svechnikov. So it was Ehlers with Seth Jarvis, and Jarvis gets the game-tying goal in the third period. I'll be the optimist because of my job, and I think that it's coming for this line, and it's just one of those things where they need one. But I really think for them, it's the power play. Like they're the, Rod doesn't number the groupings, but they're the top group, right? They're going to be the ones who go out first. And I think the fact that they have not had success on the power play has spilled over into their 5-on-5 play. And once they can just figure it out one way or the other, they're going to take off. And a team that's really dangerous right now will be more dangerous. And I know that you were talking about the points. I think the unfortunate thing is I think Andrei Svechnikov, until the 3 penalties he took against Philadelphia, had really been having a fine playoff, just wasn't getting rewarded for it because for whatever reason, it wasn't falling into place with his line mates. But I think they're close. Tonight, we'll see, because they're going to need him at some point in time. They're going to need him to break through, and tonight might be that game, depending on how Rick Tocchet wants to match up against the Canes.
Yeah. Hey, Mike, since you've been calling the games, as far as the top 9 forwards go, is this as deep and balanced as you've ever seen it?
Yeah, absolutely. I can't even look at a place even before that, covering the team since 2007. I can't think back to a time where you have as much on the top 3, and don't sleep on the fourth line either, Kevin. With Mark Jankowski, Will Carrier, and Eric Robinson, they have a role to play, but they're good for 1 or 2 chances a game, and it's not just to fling it at the net and crash. Like, they're actually creating a scoring chance a game. But this is up front. This is the deepest the Carolina Hurricanes has ever been with just the pure skill of what they can put on especially lines 1 through 3.
Mike Maniscalco with us on Sports 1440, 732 in Edmonton. Keandre Miller here, Mike. Is he one of the most underrated defensemen in the league?
Starting to earn that moniker, if you ask me. He is coming to Carolina, and it's been a hand in glove, Kevin. A lot of times, because the way that the Canes play, they play man-on-man. That's their defensive scheme. Hard for guys to pick up on that. He is such a tremendous athlete. He's picked up on it, and now that he's really comfortable in how he's supposed to play. Oh, and he's a new dad, so that's off of his mind. So yeah, he can just go out there and play and relax that way. That happened this weekend, but he has truly been with this group what they wanted him to be when they traded Scott Morrow in that first-round pick to the Rangers for him. And you've got a 1-2 punch on the left side of Keandre Miller and then Jacob Slavin. And I can't imagine that's fun for the opposition having to go up against that, especially in a series like this night after night.
Yeah. Am I crazy to say, Mike, that like Miller right now is what like Slavin was years ago? Like years ago when people were going, like, who is this guy? Kind of, not that he came out of nowhere, but once he started to perform at the level he was playing, and everyone said, hey, this is one of the best shutdown D-men in the league. Am I nuts so to say that, or what?
No, I mean, I think part of it is because in New York, he wasn't garnering that reputation with the Rangers. And that, I don't think that was his fault. I think that was just how the team was built with New York. And, he's trying to fit in there and, had different roles. Here, I hesitate because Jacob Slavin is a completely different beast when we're talking about defensemen and how he plays. I have, honestly, Kevin, I don't know if there's anybody with better hand-eye coordination in the National Hockey League than Jacob Slavin, with what he's able to do night in, night out, understanding angles and positioning and all of that. But what Keandre Miller is starting to show here is his ability to read plays, make plays. Yeah, I think part of that too is, how he's being coached up with this team and the job Tim Gleason does running the defense and, being part of the practices that you see here in Carolina, going up against those guys, what's understood. And then the other part of it, without getting too into the weeds for it, I just think that Miller is such a low key guy that he doesn't, he's not doing a ton of interviews and he's not doing commercials. And you know what? It's not super sexy when you're blocking passes and blocking shots, right? That doesn't get a ton of it. It's you've got to get the 20 goals and the 40 assists to be noticed as a really good defenseman in this league, which I think is something that we can get into a different debate in the offseason. But I think the Canes have two of the finest defensemen in the league right now with Slavin and Miller. And if Keandre keeps this up, if he's gotten comfortable this quick in the system, I can't wait to see what he's going to do next year.
Yeah, I totally agree. So, hey, Mike, how has Eric Tulsky been able to put all the pieces of this puzzle together and still have, some things in the cupboard and have, some draft picks, have some younger guys? I mean, you look here, there's nothing. There's very little in the system in draft picks. Colorado, Vegas, but how have the Canes been able to navigate having a top team in the league plus not salvaging everything for the future?
The old adage of if you think you're the smartest guy in the room, that's a mistake. Well, Eric is the smartest guy in the room, but he does not treat himself that way. He listens to everyone. He takes every bit of information, every bit of data, talking to Rod Brindamore, talking to the scouts. And then the Canes have a really good front office where it does run through Eric as the general manager, right? That's what comes with the title when you get there. But there is a whole scene of people that are, okay, we like this. They identify players. And honestly, one of the things I don't want to do a different analogy, but they identify who they can get at a cost that they're willing to pay. And that's why they're not giving up all of the gold in the coffers for these guys, right? You can look back and say, well, maybe they overpaid for Mikko Rantanen, and maybe they did. But now you take a look back at everything that they gave up for Rantanen and what it's now turned into. Taylor Hall, Logan Stankoven, Keandre Miller, and picks and cap space, because you didn't have to pay $10 million plus to Mikko Rantanen to stay with the team. You'd get Logan Stankoven at a smaller rate. And they get deals done. This is if you really want to go with the smarts for the Carolina Hurricanes, they get deals done with players and they bet on their future. And they're like, well, we'll pay maybe a little bit now that people will think is too much, but 4 or 5 years down the road, that contract is going to look like a steal or a bargain. So that's how they've been able to do that, forecasting where these players are going to be. And they know what they're willing to give up for other players around the league. I mean, this team has taken big swings, but it's at the same time, they're only comfortable, and it's a good thing, giving up what they know they're going to give up. I'll put it to you this way. It took me a long time to learn when I went to Las Vegas. Only bring as much money as I'm willing to lose.
Yeah. I mean, they've got more or the same first-round picks as in the next 3 years, Carolina does.
Yeah.
As the Oilers, Vegas, Dallas, and Colorado combined, I think. So that's just tells you. One last one for you, Mike. How nutso do you think it's going to be in Philly at the old X tonight?
Oh man, it's going to be. I think that this will be the most raucous crowd that the Canes have walked in the postseason in some time. I think that this building, they're going to be fired up. I think that the fans are going to demand that this Flyers team give their best, and they're going to be at their best for it. This is going to be. I never made it down to the old Spectrum. I get the feeling this evening might just rival how loud the Spectrum used to get.
In the last series, I don't know if you caught it, but the Phillies had a rain out, so they went to the game. Did you see that?
Yeah.
They got booed, and then the next day they won both ends of a home and a back-to-back on walk-off wins on a doubleheader, Mike. So I don't know.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, I'll say it. These are the people who booed Santa Claus. I've been to an Eagles football game, and I've heard words put together that I didn't know you could put together, said at both the visiting team and their own players. So, but Rod actually said it best. He loved playing here because he knows that the fans demand that you give your best, and that makes you're either gonna lean into it and go, okay, I'll give you everything I got, or you don't last very long in Philadelphia.
Yeah, he could have won 6 cups there. They might like him for the first minute tonight, but other than that, they would hate him. So
Kevin, I will say this: of all of the accomplishments of Rod Brindamore, the most impressive one to me, to my knowledge, he is the only athlete who has never been booed by Philadelphia fans. I don't know. I don't know if that continues now that we're in a playoff series, but I can tell you up to this point, they do a little thing here where they read the visitors' starting lineup, and the fans have a nice word they say after every player, and then they introduce the head coach. They don't say that word after they say Rod's name. So.
It's gonna be a great night. Hey, Mike, thanks so much for coming on. Have a great call tonight, and hopefully we can talk soon. Thanks for coming.
You got it. Thanks, Kevin.
That's Mike Maniscalco, Hurricanes play-by-play man. Game number 3 tonight in Philadelphia. It's going to be an absolute zoo. And that was the Puck Report, brought to you by Fountain Tire. And at Fountain Tire, we worry about one thing. It's your vehicle. Book your appointment at fountaintire.com today. Yeah, I mean, Philadelphia fans, if you work your ass off say you're out in the ice for 45 seconds, and for 45 seconds, all you do is work. And then you do that for a period. Then you do it for a game. Then you do it for all the seasons that Rod Brindamore played in Philly. That's why they would never think badly about a guy. But I mean, they love that guy, man, in Philadelphia. When we come back, we'll get to some of your texts, 833-401-1440. Mark Spector coming up at the top of the hour. It's a Kevin Carey Show with the Duke of Delburne. Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440 AM radio. We're streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch. I've got some good news. If you've been thinking about a heavy-duty truck, the 2026 Ram 2500 Black Express is now at St. Albert Dodge. You've got 20-inch black aluminum wheels, black Mopar side steps, body color, bumpers and grille, and a sport performance hood. Available in all the colors for $68,990. Plus, new this year, Ram's best-in-class 10-year powertrain warranty. Now's the time. Head up the trail and see how easy it is to do business at St. Albert Dodge.
It's coming. An unstoppable force that will turn your home into the Sweatbox.
Don't live in a summer blockbuster. Pro Solutions is your one-call solves-it-all expert for AC repairs, tune-ups, and new installations. With fast appointments and flexible financing, we'll make sure your home story has a comfortable ending. AC season is coming soon, so book today.
Lock in pre-season pricing today.
Visit prosolutionsinc.ca to schedule your service today.
Hey there, I'm in the Fountain Tire sidecar, making a list of the things I'm doing this spring. 1. Saving you money, with up to 20% off select tires until June 13th. 2. Water skiing, tricky in a sidecar, but fun. And 3. Saving you more money, with mail-in rebates of up to $100 off a set of 4 select tires and $50 off a $150 service with the purchase of 4 select tires. Oh, that's 4 things. Oh well, restrictions apply. Book online at fountaintire.com. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Edmonton sports fans stay informed with Sports 1440. Stream us. Listen to us on the AM dial. However you consume this radio station, thanks for listening.
Expand your brand with Fusion Promo Marketing. Fusion is your trusted partner for all things branded merch and apparel. Thousands of products perfect for businesses, sports teams, and corporate events. Fusion with a Z. Promomarketing.ca.
Divorce is never easy, but Fairway Divorce Solutions can help.
Their clear step-by-step process addressed all our issues, and we moved through the process quickly.
Fairway didn't take sides. They saved us money and heartache.
My ex, the kids, and I feel like we'll all be okay.
At Fairway Divorce Solutions, trained mediators and in-house lawyers will move your divorce process forward in a professional and efficient manner to achieve a fair resolution and separation agreement. Visit fairwaydivorce.com.
Hey, Gary, is that your dad?
No, this is Evan, the new sales rep I hired.
Oh.
First impressions matter, but when hair loss takes over, it can feel like you're not being seen for the maverick you truly are. Hi, I'm Dr. Vance Elliott. At Advanced Hair and Skin Surgery, we know that hair loss is more than just a cosmetic issue. It's personal. Let's discuss all the cutting-edge options available so you can make a great impression every time.
Book a free consultation today at drvanceelliott.com.
Your game,
Your station, Sports 1440.
and watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 7:45 in Edmonton. Kevin Karius, Duke of Delburne, and Josh Fenwick with you here on Sports 1440. Text line 833-401-1440. The King of Fort Nasty says, just a quick note, Fenny's never done homework a day in his life. He's not going to start now. I asked Fenny to have a look at the Oilers' salary cap for moving forward because the cap goes up to $104 million, up 8.5 from last year. And I think the Oilers are roughly at about 84.7, but he said he couldn't add them up. So sorry. Sorry to our listeners that Fenny couldn't do that, especially you, to the King of Fort Nasty, who also asked Duke about his batting last night. And Duke, all of this, I mean, come on, Duke. Can you blow some more smoke up your own arse any more than what you sent back to him? Batted 1,000 last night. 4 for 4, 1 triple, 1 double, 2 singles, 6 or 7 RBIs, I think.
Yep, pretty good night.
Trops blew a 6-run lead. There's only one stat you're missing, Duke. There.
The win.
W.
The win. It's the first game.
Doesn't matter.
It's the first time we're all playing together. A lot of feeling out process. We don't know our order. We don't know where everyone's going to play position-wise across the field.
How was your little pinky finger?
Not very good. One of those singles was kind of off the end of the bat, rattled the handle pretty good, and that stung me. Got to the point where like it was back throbbing. Which it hadn't really the last couple of days. When I got home last night, was watching the Ducks game on replay.
Okay.
I got the old hot needle and stuck it in the top and poked a hole in it. Got some blood pressure out of there.
Well, you better be okay for tomorrow's golf.
I'm hoping so.
Yeah.
It's going to be big time.
Big game. Eddie Steele, SKS against the Duke and I at Leduc. Eddie Steele sent a text to me. He says, have a good show, man. I was asked if you'd be up for having your name and my name in an auction prize for a golf tournament. The winner gets to play a round of golf with me and you and a guest of their choice. Are you up for that? I said, well, I'm sure I'll be up for it. I'm not sure if those guests will want to golf with us, Eddie, but that's the way it goes. Text 833-401-1440. Trev says, the Ducks and Sharks are going to be in the mix for years to come in the Pacific Division. What do the Oilers need to do to make sure they stay ahead of them? I will. You know what I'll do, Trev? I'll change that to stay ahead of the Sharks. To stay ahead of the Sharks, but I'll say to stay with the Ducks, because right now the Ducks are on the same level as the Oilers. I think the Sharks are a little behind, and but I would say that the Ducks moving forward with what they have are on the same level as the Oilers, and we're seeing it right now in the Stanley Cup playoffs, especially when you buy in and you play as hard as you possibly can for the entirety of a game, which they did last night, and they play a different style than what we saw in the Oilers series because they were tight checking, they were on pucks quick, they didn't, for the most part, trade chance for chance. They made smart decisions. There was a couple of times last night in the third period where, all right, just get it in deep, but instead of maybe try a play at the blue line, instead, of making the smart play with a 2-0 lead, they still tried to make a hope play. That's going to come. You're going to have that. The Oilers do it all the time, did it all the time, but there are times when you can't do it. And that's a simple way to look at how the success for the Ducks came last night. So to your point, Trev, we've been talking about it for a week now almost, about what changes the Oilers will have to make. And again, you can talk about it at management. You can talk about it at coaching. You can talk about it with the core group, the salary cap, contracts that could be moved, or if they could be moved, can they be moved? You're talking about free agents, the possibility of that, signing the guys that you traded for at the deadline. There are 7 or 8 little tentacles hanging out here, maybe more that are hanging out here. But the main thing is, like, look at Colorado last year. So Colorado lost in the first round of the Stanley Cup playoffs last year. They made a lot of additions, really, when you think about it, at the deadline. The biggest one was they picked up Brock Nelson, and they traded away a pretty good young player in Callum Ritchie to the New York Islanders. And they also give up a first rounder and a third rounder. When Brock Nelson came to Colorado last year, he didn't have a really good, well, I guess he was okay in the regular season, but he was basically non-existent in the playoffs, didn't score a goal. So what do? They signed him to a 3-year contract, I believe, and they give him a number where everyone's going, what are you doing? This guy's done. He's at the end of the line here. But he responded this year, did he not? And he had a damn good season. He had a really good season where he scored 33 goals. He's a perennial 30-goal guy for the last bit of his career. Now, in the playoffs, he's got 1 goal, 1 assist so far. But he's anchoring the second line. So that's just one thing. They said, okay, it didn't work out, but what are we going to do? We just gave up a whole boatload for this guy. But let's go back and let's see what we can do with him. And then what else did Colorado do in the offseason? Well, they didn't do a lot. They picked up the one major piece, and it was an old defenseman. And everyone's going, okay, well, and it's Brett Burns. Now Burns has been good. So what are they? They moved out a couple of guys that they picked up at the deadline too, and Charlie Coyle, I think was one of them. But it's not like they absolutely cleaned house and went bananas just because they lost in the first round. So I think teams have to be careful of how and what they do. And I know everyone's calling for heads here in town. Everyone is. They want to see changes. But I'll also say you got to keep an even keel, because if you totally dismantle everything, because everyone in town wants a new manager. They want a new coach. They want this, they want that. Well, where does it end? Jason says Colorado also overhauled their goaltending. That was before Jason. Dallas is the same thing. They didn't overhaul the goaltending last year, Duke. Am I correct? It wasn't in the offseason.
Yeah, it was mid-season.
The year before.
Not this season.
That's what I'm saying. This wasn't
it was
in
the 2024-25
right.
season.
This wasn't in the off season. So we're in the off season of 2026. I'm talking about what they did in the off season
after losing in the first round.
After losing in the first round, they didn't touch their goaltending. This is before. Ian texts in, realistically, and hear me out, how bad of an option would it be to bring Stu back? Well, it's never going to happen, Ian, or sorry to say. I mean, that's the deal they made, and now it's an anvil contract right now with Tristan Jarry that they're trying to move, but are they trying to keep him too? Because, I mean, it's almost like you got to run with this guy at the start of the season. Chomsker's text in, Oilers should have been looking for a young franchise tender back in 2015-17 like the Sharks did by trading for Askarov. They drafted Skinner a little late and gave him no support. They've been looking. They've been chasing. How long have they been chasing a goaltender here? A long time. They thought it was Jack Campbell. Keep in mind, Stu Skinner was never, ever, when he signed that contract for 2.6, he was never, ever the starter. They didn't sign him to that contract to be the starting goaltender. They signed him to back up Jack Campbell and play 30 games a year max. Campbell, it didn't work out. Skinner got thrusted into it and took the team, along with Cal Pickard, to 2 Stanley Cup finals. But to previous texter's point, the ship sailed on that one. Chad and Wetaskiwin says Knobs isn't the issue. Karius, it's Bowman and Jackson. Ship them out. Well, when you look at, again, the makeup of this roster, and we talked about it already, they got about 84.7. That doesn't include Campbell. Wallman this is the one that's going to, I mean, if Jake Wallman at $7 million a year doesn't turn out to be the player that we saw in the playoffs last year, man, oh man, that is a contract that, and it's about how the contract was done. Like, they didn't need to sign him at that point. They could have signed him. They could have waited halfway through the year and said, okay, let's see if you can play 40 games in the first half, Jake. First of all, be healthy, and then we'll work on a deal. It didn't have to be done at the time. It did not have to be done at that time. Coming up, top of the hour, we got Mark Spector from Rogers Sportsnet. Before that, time now for a Sports 1440 update, brought to you by Sean Cunningham of Remax Real Estate. Get the home team advantage for your next move in the Edmonton area. If you are thinking about buying or selling a home, call or text Sean directly at 780-265-0165. Here is the Duke.
The Sports 1440 update.
Stanley Cup playoff action last night in Buffalo. The Sabres take game one over the Canadiens by a score of 4-2. Josh Doan netting the first goal of the contest, and Jordan Greenway scoring what would eventually become the game winner. From Sin City, the Vegas Golden Knights cannot get one past Lucas Tostolo until 6 seconds left in the game. Anaheim takes it 3-1 to even that best of 7 at 1 game apiece. It'll shift back to SoCal for game 3 on Friday. In the association, the Sixers come up short against the Knicks, 108-102, the final for New York to open up a 2-0 series lead. Jalen Brunson leading the way with 26 points for the Knicks. And in San Antonio, they get 21 points from Stephen Castle and contributions from across the board as the Spurs even their best of 7 with Minnesota at 1-1 with a 133-95 victory. In the majors yesterday, full slate of games, the Blue Jays get swept by the Rays from the Trop, 3-0 yesterday's final. Shane McClanahan, excellent in the win. Elsewhere, Dodgers run it up on Houston at 12-2. Seattle beats the Braves 3-1. Boston blanking Detroit 4-0. Baltimore top Miami 7-4. And the Yankees fall to Texas 6-1. Off the field, Tigers pitcher Framber Valdez has been given a 6-game suspension for intentionally throwing at Red Sox hitter Trevor Story in their Tuesday night game. Valdez also receiving an undisclosed fine, and Detroit manager A.J. Hinch has received a 1-game suspension. Coming up in hour 2 of the Kevin Karius Show, we'll be joined by Sportsnet's Mark Spector and Frank Servali from Victory Plus TV. I'm Brandon Douglas at your Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440 in West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin. CKJR is a Stingray radio station.
Download the free radio player app and listen wherever you go.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. No one's ever accused car shopping to be fun. I mean, think about it. Awkward standoffs to get a price. Let me go talk to my manager. Dealers asking for your credit card, then melting your phone if you say no. See, not fun. At Northgate, I promise you a different experience. We make it fun. And you will like us, I promise. 0% financing, a great selection of new and pre-owned units. So for some fun, stop in today. 13215 97th Street or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
With Play Alberta, backing the home team goes beyond the bets. That's because your picks have provincial impact. Play Alberta is the only app in the province that puts all revenue directly back into supporting programs and services that Albertans rely on every day. By investing in the General Revenue Fund, every play, bet, and buy made on Play Alberta helps make a difference across the province. It feels good to know your fund goes further at home. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
If you've got a smart speaker, get it to play Sports 1440.
And it doesn't matter when you listen as we roll out the Sports Talk
24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Edmonton's home for sports radio is Sports 1440.
It's time to hit the greens. Elevate your golf game with Country Club Tour Golf Academy. No matter your experience, our PGA of Canada teaching pros are here to help. Enjoy lessons year-round between our 7 CCT golf courses and 2 state-of-the-art indoor facilities. Choose the location convenient for you. We offer private lessons, group lessons, expert club fittings, and junior tabs. Visit our website to learn more and get ready to take your game to the next level. Booking is easy. Go to countryclubtour.com/golf academy and schedule your lesson today.
I'm Rick Showers from Noble RV, and you'll notice something different about our store compared to the new RV stores. Our lot is full, bursting at the seams with quality used RVs for you to see. The new RV stores, well, their stuff is trickling in. For the most part, they're taking orders for trailers and motorhomes to be delivered at some future date.
At No Bull, you can take yours home right away. Right, Rick?
That's right, Bob. Every RV on our lot is ready to go. Bring your truck and you can take it home with you. You could be enjoying the great outdoors this weekend if you want. And because every RV on our lot is one of a kind, it's worth it to take a look around. It's not like we have 20 of the exact same model.
That's what the new RV stores look like.
Not here, Bob. Every single one is different. The perfect used RV for your family is probably on our lot already. Why not pick it up before someone else does?
And that's No Bull. NoBullRV.ca.
Just in time for the morning skate. This is the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 8:01 in Edmonton, and time now for On the Mark. Brought to you by Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. And right now, you can get 0% financing on heavy-duty trucks, finally, and 0% financing on half tons as well. See more at northgategm.com as we welcome in Mark Spector from Rogers Sportsnet. Good morning, Spec.
Doing okay. How you doing this morning, Kevin? Looks like a guy could be teeing off right about now.
Well, tomorrow is the big match here, Spec. 1440. The pride of the morning show, 1440.
Oh, is that right? Who's having at her here?
Duke and I against Eddie Steele and SKS, Sean Smith from our sales department.
Ooh.
Yeah. See,
wow.
we either go to buffets together or we golf together.
Or you can golf and go to the buffet. Why not do it all, man?
That could be what's on the line. Another trip to the buffet. I don't know, man. But well, how was your night? What'd you get up to? You watched a little hockey? What'd you do?
A little bit of hockey. Kept an eye on Montreal last night. Montreal Buffalo was a fun game. Buffalo team looks awfully good. It's kind of fun to think that one of those two is going to be in the Eastern Conference Final. I'm not sure that Carolina doesn't beat either of them, but let's see what happens.
Yeah. And I mean, watching Buffalo, and again, I was, when you look at the one thing that was missing with them, Spec, to start the series in Boston, well, first of all, they were having trouble on home ice. They won 3 games of that series in Boston, but their power play going back even to the beginning of April was 1 for 46.
Wow.
And that included, a 2-week stretch at the end of the regular season and then into that Boston series. But they had 2 power play goals last night. So that was massive. If they can get that going, they got enough big guys up front and they got guys that can move the puck from the back end. They're a good team. And I mean, Lions been good too. So
yeah. Lions kind of taking that job in goal, and that's how like the playoff. If you go 4 rounds, the playoff runs a long journey. Your PK comes and goes, your power play comes and goes, and guys get hot, and then other guys get hot. And as long as something keeps providing, you get to keep going. The teams that lose out, like the Oilers, their PK just never figured it out, and it cost them, 9/10 of that series. If you keep getting something from somewhere, then Buffalo seems to be. That's what playoff hockey is all about, man.
Mm-hmm. And the Sabres, when you look at their team makeup, and everyone thought, at the beginning of the year when they were so bad, and then they just kept sticking to it. And I think the one guy, and you looked at Benson last night, and even Doan, those two guys seem to be, as for young guys, Spec,
yeah,
they're sort of dragging people in here, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, like it's a little bit rewarding in terms of, I thought I looked at that roster off the start of the season, and then like whatever, a month and a half in, I thought there's just no way this team can be this bad.
Yeah.
Like, I don't, you look down the lines and you look at their deep pairs and you said, geez, there's pretty good players there. Like, there's no way this team should be missing the playoffs for a 15th year. Like, what's going on in Buffalo? And here we are, now they're diving on tables in the parking lot before the game here in mid-May. So I guess they figured it out, but it does look like they're having fun in Buffalo, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Mark Spector with us on Sports 40. Did you watch any of the Ducks Vegas games, Spec?
Yeah, I had it on. I had moved the TV out to the deck, so I had it on last night. I had a neighbor over, watched a little hockey, enjoyed a little bit of evening, cool down about second, third period, so I had to pull a blanket out. But other than that, yeah.
Pull the blankie out, whatever. So, I mean, this is a style that the Ducks played last night that we didn't really see for the most part in the Oilers series because it was a little more wide open. But man, oh man, if they play like that, Spec, with the amount of talent that they have, they're a dangerous, dangerous team, man.
Yeah, if they can win that game, that's what I thought too. It was, they had what did they have? What were the shots on goal at the end for them? 15 or something?
22.
So they got up to 22. Okay, whatever. Yeah, they spent. No, sorry, I'm thinking of Buffalo. It was Buffalo that had that went the whole game with 4 goals on 16 shots till late anyway.
Yeah, it was 28-22 Anaheim, Spec.
Okay, that was it. So anyway, they hold Vegas to 22 shots. That's not something Anaheim's been very good at. If they can win, you're right. If they can play that kind of game and win it, oh boy, that opens up a whole new avenue for the Anaheim Ducks. Like, it doesn't have to be run and gun every night for them to win. Mm-hmm. The theory was when Edmonton played them, get them into a 3-1 game and you're going to have a huge advantage. If they start winning that game, man, stand back. Now how are you going to beat them now?
If you look at it too, I mean, they made 2 roster changes. They brought in Jansen Harkins and Ross Johnston, sat Mason McTavish and Ian Moore, and McTavish, that was the one that raised the eyebrows. I think you get him back in though right away, don't you, Spec?
I don't know. I don't think Quenneville's a giant Mason McTavish fan.
Okay.
I think like every team has their contract. Every team that has something they wish they didn't do. Mason McTavish is signed long-term at $7 million per, and now they got Carlson coming up here. And who's the other guys at Lacombe?
Lacombe signed already. He's at 8.5.
Sorry, they got 2 big guys here. I forget the second one. Carlson and
Cutter Gauthier.
That's it. Coming up this year. And I mean, you want to sign, those 2 guys are for sure part of the long-term future. You'd love to get them on 8-year deals, but all of a sudden you haven't done anything yet. And you're out of cap space. You're Anaheim. You're just starting your program. And you're already cap challenged, and now you're looking around at contracts. I wouldn't mind moving that contract. And I think Mason McTavish is one of them. They scratched him during the season. They're scratching him again here in the playoffs. For whatever reason, I don't think Quenneville and McTavish are seeing eye to eye here somehow.
I don't know if you can give up on a guy like that right now, Spec. I mean, they got room, and I'm in with the cap going up, and Gudas is coming off next year. I don't think he'd be back, or if he is, it would be at very league minimum. I mean, Carlson and Trouba are at $8 million. They're UFAs. Maybe you bring one of them back. I don't know. They got room. I think it would be a panic move to send McTavish down the road right now.
Okay, well, I mean, I guess to me, it's more about, how are you going to get the players to get you over the top? Assuming Anaheim doesn't go all the way to win the cup this year, then it's a moot point. What veterans do you need and how are you going to get them? You're probably going to get them in trade. Mm-hmm. So there's some of that going on, but let's see. I mean, I just know this, being around that Anaheim team and talking to people and watching Quenneville make his lineup all season, when he wants to do something different, it seems to me that it's McTavish coming out of his lineup.
I get that. I just think that, maybe this is a kick in the backside here, and, he picks it up a little bit more. I think it's dangerous if you start sitting out a young guy like that. He's 23, but I think you get him back in sooner than later here.
Yep. Listen, it's a nice problem to have.
Mm-hmm.
We all like the way he plays. I haven't spent enough time. Like, I didn't think he had a huge hand in that series against Edmonton. He didn't stand out to me in that series much.
Mm-hmm.
I can't tell you that I have a really strong handle on everything he does well and doesn't do well. But, at this time of year, the coaching staff does. So at this time of year, their moves tell you what they think of players.
Mm-hmm.
Some guys can go 3-4 games, get nothing done. They stick with them because they believe in them. Other guys have a couple of lousy games and boom, they're out of the lineup. And the reason is they don't believe in him as much.
Well, he's seen 3 forwards that are younger than him, Spec, pass him by on the depth chart, the leadership chart, things like that. So that's up to the player here to find it. And Quenneville, I think he knows how to push the buttons here. What about the power play last night? The Ducks were 0 for 5, Spec. And you think about how lethal they were against the Oilers. So is that an indictment to how bad the Oilers penalty kill was? Yes. So totally on the Oilers there.
Well, it's only one night. It's only one night 0 for 5. But yes, it is. Obviously, Vegas has looked at the video and they found things that the Oilers staff either didn't find, or that if they did find it and showed it to their team, and this is real as well, maybe the players just didn't execute it. Knobloch came out at his press conference at the end of the year and said there was 4 or 5 goals where they knew what Anaheim was trying to do. They told the players what Anaheim was trying to do, and Anaheim still did it. So he put it on the players. And then Connor Murphy came out and said, you know what? Basically, that's what happened a lot of the time. We didn't execute. So, it's easy to blame the coaching staff, right? But maybe the players didn't get the job done. What about that?
I totally agree with you that in that regard, Spec. The salary cap going up to $104 million, Spec.
Yeah.
So that's 8.5 ballpark more than what it was last year. I did some ciphering early this morning. I believe the Oilers.
Okay.
I believe the Oilers are around 84.7. I might be off by a little bit, and that doesn't include Jack Campbell's because he goes up to 2.6 this year. So I figure they got around 16.7, 16.8 to play with. And how
many guys do you have signed right now?
Well, so that doesn't include guys like Murphy and Dickinson, obviously all the unrestricted free agents, but it includes guys like Janmark, who didn't finish the year, but it includes him. So it includes Podkolzin going up. It includes Szymanski. It includes Savoy, guys that finished the year here. So you would think that Ike Howard's going to eat up, $1 million of that, because you would hope that he's going to start the season here. So, you still got to fill out some guys here. That includes, that's 5 D-men that are signed, the big 4 plus Emberson. So now you got to find a couple more D-men. And then again, that's Leon, Connor, Hyman, Nugent Hopkins, Frederick, Janmark, Szymanski, and Savoy. And I got that at 84.7 ballpark.
Okay, well, so that's reasonable. You can do some things with that, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
I think we would say to each other that Henrique is probably not coming back here.
For sure.
Yeah. And what about Roslovic?
That's the one. It's got to be on a team-friendly contract again, because you have the hammer that says, Jack, you were good again in the regular season, but we're more about that. We need more in the playoffs. So, you'll always have that hammer with him.
I think I think the Oilers would have him back under the criteria that you just laid down, but I think somebody among the 31 other teams will offer him a better deal than the one Edmonton can give him.
Totally.
That's what I feel like.
Totally agree. But so
someone's going to say, we'll give you, like, the Oilers paid him $1.5 million for 1 year last year. That's an awesome team-friendly contract for a guy. Did he have 19 or 20 goals? I forget, whatever.
Yeah, he's a 20-goal guy.
20-goal guy. So, that's a killer contract for the Oilers. I don't think they don't get that contract again from this guy. He blew it, and him and his agent blew it in free agency a year ago. They won't blow it this year. They'll take a little less. He'll probably get some term. Don't ask me where he goes, but I doubt it'll be Edmonton. Max Jones makes $1 million. He's a UFA. I wonder if you bring him back. I liked him at the end of the year. I'd bring him back at $1 million if that's what it takes, for sure. You got to sign Colton Dock. He's at RFA. You're for sure bringing him back. I thought he had a ton of energy in the playoffs, and he's young and fast.
He's getting a bump up spec.
Yeah, for sure. So, hey, listen, Bowman's got to figure it out. They're not in a real crunch here. They're not in a terrible spot where they're going to lose guys. That's not a big issue. It's more trying to get their hands on what they need, like the UFA goalie crop. You could make an argument where the best 2 UFA goalies out there are Stu Skinner and Connor Ingram. Right?
There's not a lot out there, no.
So if those are the best 2 guys in your goalie crop, you better get Ingram, because nothing against Skinner, but Bowman wouldn't look great approaching Skinner for a UFA contract.
You imagine?
So I don't know what's going to happen there.
Could you imagine that? What's on the go here, Spec? You golfing today or what? Finally doing something?
No, I'm not playing. I got to write today. Boss wants something. I guess they're tired of hearing about the Leafs for 72 straight hours of Toronto.
So you would propose an article? No, we got Leafs for whatever, and that's what
he bumped me yesterday. He says, "Hey man, we got so much stuff off this draft lottery. Why don't you wait till tomorrow?" I said, "You don't have to tell me twice.
Yeah,
just sit around and do nothing."
Oh well, enjoy the lake, big guy.
Yeah, there's no. I'll be coming in here at some point, but
when are you getting the boat out?
Well, that's next on the old. Haven't even put the pier in yet, but I got to get to work on that. So I'll have to bring out my mechanical skills, Kevin. Put those to use.
Never mind your mechanical skills. That I don't care about that. The main thing here is for 2 springs. Your neighbors have carried your ass out there at the lake. It's high time that Spec decided it's the other way around, because the Oilers are not in a long playoff run.
I'll be the guy going deepest into the water here in May 24th long weekend when it's freezing cold and windy and rainy.
Bring your snorkel.
Yeah.
Thanks, Spec. We'll talk to you tomorrow, man. Yeah.
All right.
Thanks, man. Mark Spector on the mark. Brought to you powered by Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. When we come back, Frank Saravalli from Victory Plus TV on the Kevin Carey Show with the Duke of Delburne, Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440 AM radio. We're streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch.
Do you have neck or back pain? Ever go for treatment hoping for a simple fix only to realize your stubborn spine is basically a science project with attitude? Hey, we get it. And honestly, we're a little sorry because great rehab does take proper experimenting. But at Leading Edge Physiotherapy, we don't just toss exercises into the beaker and hope it doesn't explode. We start with the right diagnosis, then mix hands-on care, precise manual therapy, and evidence-based technology. The formula your body actually needs. Science and skill with gratitude, not attitude. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
Hey, sports fans, we've got a clear choice for you. At Crystal Glass, we provide customers with the perfect glass for any job. From home to auto and even commercial, installation or repairs, we're your team. Call 310-GLASS or visit crystalglass.ca. Crystal Glass.
McValue breakfast meals are $5 plus tax every day. Get a sausage McMuffin, bagel with cream cheese product, or breakfast burrito with hash brown and small coffee, all for just $5. Plus taxes. Available until 11 a.m. at Canadian restaurants. Product availability varies. Prices exclude delivery.
What if you could hire motivated, safety-trained youth with no risk and funding to support you? At Careers The Next Generation, we make hiring easy with funded internships across Alberta in trades, IT, forestry, and more. Interns are WCB covered, complete high school accredited safety trained, and arrive ready to contribute from day one. With 42% of RAP students completing their apprenticeship by age 22, you get skilled workers faster. Spots are filling up. Visit careersnextgen.ca today.
The longest running basketball show in Canada airs every Saturday morning at 10 on Sports 1440. Hoop City with Paul Sir introduces a new generation of basketball talk, and it's right here on Edmonton's home for sports, Sports 1440.
O'Hanlon Paving is looking for finished skid steer operators, finished grader operators, Class 1 drivers, and more to join their Edmonton road crew team. Bring your positive attitude and great work ethic to their job fair, Friday, May 8th from 10 till 3. Visit o'hanlonpaving.com/careers.
Fuel prices got you down? Subaru's here to pick you up. Subaru's electric and hybrid vehicles will save the day, helping you go further for less. Prefer a gas vehicle? Subaru Crosstrek and Impreza are built to keep costs low without sacrificing capability. Crosstrek was named 2025 Auto Trader Best Subcompact SUV, and Impreza has earned top safety pick recognition for 17 years running. Welcome to Uncommon. Welcome to Subaru. Visit Subaru.ca.
Stories, guests, and insights. This is Sports 1440 and the Kevin Karius Show.
Welcome back to the big program, 8:20 in Edmonton, and time now for the headliner of the day, brought to you by Mr. Rooter Plumbing, because your pipes take a beating on game day too. Ready for overtime, even when your plumbing isn't. That's MrRooter.ca as we welcome in Frank Saravalli from Victory Plus TV. Good morning, Frank.
How you doing, Kevin?
Are you going to the game tonight?
I'm not.
Oh, are you around or what's going on?
Yeah, I'm around. Just had some dinner plans.
Oh, really? Isn't that nice? So, like, are you going to watch the game? Are you going to find the table in the restaurant where your back's to the wall and there's a monitor somewhere?
I'll keep an eye on it. But yeah, today's my birthday, so I wanted to. I wanted to go.
Okay, well, I was waiting for something. Birthday anniversary.
No hot. I'm trying to avoid the rink today.
Well, happy birthday, Frank.
Thanks.
So, what's the joyous, like, is it a big family, big friends? What's going on?
No, just my wife and kids, and just a steak dinner.
Where are you going?
Just a place around the corner. Really good little steakhouse locally.
Oh,
Yeah,
boy,
it'll be
I'm impressed. I'm impressed with you, Frank.
Why is that?
Well, I
made it
mean,
to another year.
well, yeah, basically. Isn't that the goal? You know, if to reach one more B day every year, if you can do that. Everyone's got one foot in the grave already here, Frank.
Mm-hmm. It's amazing how long some of us have made it.
It truly is. It truly is. Hey, you had a little mock draft that you sent out. What was it, yesterday?
Yep.
And what was the reaction? Because you don't have Gavin McKenna going number one.
Yeah, I mean, the reaction was swift, and it was decidedly unpopular, which, look, I understand, like, so all the comments that I got, rage bait, look at you hunting for clicks, whatever comment that people want to make. I would encourage you to put that in front of NHL general managers and decision makers and ask them if they think that's rage bait. Because the same people that are criticizing me, they haven't watched Ivor Stenberg a lick, maybe outside of a couple World Junior games.
Right.
The same people that are criticizing me don't spend any time watching Gavin McKenna or Keaton Verhoff or Chase Reed or whoever. The NHL public scouting sphere is by far the weakest of the four major sports.
Mm-hmm.
People think they know, but they don't. And I'm not saying I'm going to be right. What I'm saying is I still think there's probably a 60 to 70% chance that the Leafs take Gavin McKenna. The point of the exercise is to critically think about what the true needs of the Toronto Maple Leafs are, and not just take the lowest hanging fruit of the highest skilled player right in front of you. Because I think in the end, I believe this to my core, that the difference, the gap in offensive production between Ivor Stenberg, maybe an 80-point player, and Gavin McKenna, maybe a 100-point player, is not enough to give up on the complete nature of Ivor Stenberg's game, particularly for a team that doesn't need another William Nylander.
Mm-hmm. First, when you throw those numbers out, those are big numbers, 80 point and 100 point.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how long it takes these two guys to get there, because I don't think they get there as quick as people think.
Maybe, and that highlights my point, I think, which is Gavin McKenna is not Austin Matthews. Gavin McKenna is not Connor McDavid. Gavin McKenna is not Macklin Celebrini or Connor Bedard. He's not in that same, in my view, classification or category of player. And when a player isn't, I think you have to really look at the full scope. Ivor Stenberg's out of sight, out of mind, playing in Sweden. And the numbers that he put up in that league this season were historic. So you see Anton Frondell come over from that league, draft year +1, and the impact that he immediately makes in the NHL. Now, that's not a full season and a long way to go. But then you reverse engineer the numbers that Ivor Stenberg had in that league, and it shows you just how impressive it was.
Do you think, Frank, with Matt Sundin going to the Leafs organization, has any bearing on them taking Stenberg?
I do not. What I do think is that it will have provided with Matt Sundin's sources, if he wasn't watching Ivor Stenberg specifically, it will arm him with as much intel and information, probably as much or as more as any other team out there in the league. So I do think that they're going to have a very full view of the player. I don't think it's going to change the selection that they make. The question always remained with Jarmo Kekalainen in Columbus, now Buffalo. Will he take more Finns? When he passed on Jesse Puljujärvi, that probably should have told you something, right? When Patrick Allvin, the second European-born general manager, was in Vancouver, everyone's saying, well, will he take more Swedes? I don't know that there was a drastic uptick in that in Vancouver.
Frank Saravalli with us from Victory Plus TV on the Kevin Karius Show here on Sports 1440. So having said that about where these guys are ranked by you and others, is this a year where...
Wait, can I just say one more thing?
Sure.
Just in terms of the rage bait and clickbait, I just want everyone to know that I didn't even implement any advertising on my site yet. I don't make $1. I literally did not make $1. And if anything, why would I risk my own reputation to put out something that I don't truly believe in to damage my own standing in the hockey community? I just want people to consider that, because I feel like they never do. They never understand. This is not for effect. This is not for attention or eyeballs. I have the courage of conviction of what I know and am told and what I believe.
Hey, I'm not coming down on you, Frank. I got no problem with the rankings.
No, I just wanted people listening to understand, because there's no win in that for me. In the end, people talking trash about me for 24 consecutive hours on social media, it doesn't help. I don't do it for that reason.
See, Frank, I never noticed that because I don't care about it. So I never noticed that. So,
well, yeah, unfortunately, I have to live in it every day.
So, okay, my question then, Frank, if this is a year where, again, there's no Connor, there's no Matthews, there's not a consensus number one where head and shoulders, this player is going to be, and don't use the word generational player, whatever, a really, really good player. Is this the year where some teams might move down in the draft? And would it be smarter?
I think there's definitely an argument to be made to it. And here's where I stop short, is that as much as it makes sense to me, it almost never seems to happen. Like, I agree with your premise. If I'm the San Jose Sharks and I can trade down from 2 to 5 and still get the franchise defenseman that I'm looking for, because I can guarantee that no matter what, I'm going to have my choice of one of the 3 of them, I'm considering that in a big way, because maybe someone, let's say Stenberg does go 1, maybe a couple teams are jockeying to try and get McKenna at 2. You can get a really nice piece plus the guy that you were still targeting that helps your franchise. And then some people will say, well, hold on a second here. You've got a chance to add maybe a potential, as I said, 100-point player in the NHL in Gavin McKenna. Why wouldn't you just keep it simple, stupid, and take the guy and then figure out your defense from there, because it's so hard to find difference makers in the NHL? I don't know the correct answer to it. If I'm San Jose and I'm picking two, no matter what, I'm looking at my franchise build and I'm saying I've got Celebrini, Smith, Misa. I've got my goalie, I believe in Askarov. I like Sam Dickinson, but I have no defensemen. I have 2 NHL defensemen under contract for next season. My pipeline is barren. Shakir Mukhamadullin, that's it. I'm taking a D-man. So at some point, these teams are going to have to wrestle with all that. And a lot of it happens in like the few minutes between picks.
As you know, I think you know David Schlemko is our co-host on Wednesdays. Do you know who he thinks the best defenseman out of this bunch is?
Keaton Verhoff?
Nope.
Chase Reed?
Nope.
Carson Carrolls?
Nope.
Go ahead.
Dax Rudolph.
Okay.
And I'm really looking forward to seeing him in the Western Hockey League final here.
Yeah.
Starts
It should
on
be a
Friday.
heck of a final, by the way. 2 Titans in the league going head to head.
Yeah. I think, and I don't like rankings are rankings, Frank. Mock drafts are mock drafts. But the one guy that you don't have in your 5 is Caleb Malhotra. I want to give you the floor to say why you don't.
Well, it's not really for any reason particularly. It's not as if Caleb Malhotra did anything to bump himself down. I think when the dust settles on this season, it's a lot longer view than 2 to 3 months. And Caleb Malhotra was the biggest closer in this 2026 draft class. He finished the year as well or better than anyone. And his stock steadily rose, and the bloodlines and the last name really help. And I just, look, he plays a premium position, and that's really important because you've got a bunch of impact defensemen here, including a couple right shot guys. McKenna and Stenberg are both wingers. Caleb Malhotra will be the first center off the board. The question is, how much does that position premium help him? And my other question would be, how much recency bias has been in the close of his season? Like, I think the recency bias has worked the wrong way, particularly when it comes to Keaton Verhoff. People look at the NCAA tournament, they'll look at maybe his last 10 games with North Dakota, and they'll say, ooh, I don't know, he just kind of seemed a little bit average there. And my reminder for everyone would be just how poor the CHL was this season compared to almost any other year. This league
I'll agree with you there, Frank.
dramatically. The step down in competition has not been recognized by the public scouting community. And Keaton Verhoff was the youngest defenseman in college hockey history. So let that sink in for a second. 17-year-old playing on a top-ranked team and playing major minutes and major roles. That is, I would estimate that based on league comparisons, that the NCAA this season was twice as good, twice as hard as the CHL was. And I would stand by that.
I don't know if twice as hard, Frank, but I'll give you the fact that this is a harder scout for scouts that are looking at the CHL this year. It was a harder way to analyze players, to evaluate players this year than years past. Because
okay, so let me add something to that.
Okay.
So you agree with the premise, maybe not the actual calculation, which is totally fine. But do you agree also then that there wasn't a proper adjustment for that in how players were reported on and viewed publicly? I didn't hear any of the people in our quote unquote hockey journalism world that do this and only do this on a day-to-day basis. I didn't see them talk about it that much. And instead, they oohed and awed over some gaudy numbers that were put up by players without any actual context of the league being so much worse.
But that's what makes a scout, Frank. A scout has to look past all that crap and find the player. Doesn't matter where he is.
That's why I'm not I'm not pooping on the people who do this publicly, but I'm telling you that teams are looking at it differently than the public is, which is the whole point of my role.
Listen, like, I mean, the best defenseman to be drafted didn't come out of, like, the best defenseman to be drafted in a long time. Never came out of NCAA, never came out of the CHL. Where did he come from?
The Brooks Bandits.
That's right. So you got to be able to look past all the other stuff and see that.
And guess how disappointed the Colorado Avalanche were when they lost the draft lottery after a disastrous season, falling to 4.
There you go. Hey, quick comment on the salary cap going to 104 mil.
It's the exact number that the NHL reported in 2025. So no surprises there for the teams or the league. It highlights how much spending some teams have to do, including San Jose, particularly to fill out their blue line. It also highlights that cap space is no longer a commodity. Everyone's got it. So there's no win there.
I know it's another year, past this, but are we looking at 115 the next year?
It's 113.5, I think.
113.
It's already set in stone.
They would never move that number at all.
Well, they should. It actually should be well higher than the 105 that it's going to be next year. What's the number? 104.
Yeah,
it should be way higher than that based on revenue.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So, like,
but they've refused to do it, and they've said repeatedly that they won't do it. If you actually go back and look through this year's revenue numbers, in the end, in October, players will be getting like a 6% top up on top of what their published salary was this year. 6% is pretty significant.
I got to get one more question in from a listener here, Steve. KK asked Frank how the NCAA playing 32 games is compared to the CHL double.
In terms of scouting?
No. Like, I mean, you said that the NCAA is twice as good as the CHL. I
The
disagree with
competition
that.
level, yes.
I'm not. I don't think it's twice as good. But
Just
but
for some context, if I could add to that, someone did an equivalency chart yesterday, I think it was, and they had rated the 3 leagues as Quebec League at 0.11, so 11% of the NHL, the OHL or the WHL at 0.12 of so 12% of the NHL, and the OHL at 0.15 of the NHL, so 15%. And then they had the NCAA at 0.25. So 11 and 12 multiplied by 2 is it's a little bit more than double. Just telling you in terms of an equivalency chart. People try and find data points to point to this. I'm not saying it's exact, but it's probably pretty close. Just on this term, which is all of the best 19 and 20-year-olds in the CHL left to go play in the NCAA. They all did.
Happy
I don't know
birthday.
how you could think that the league could be.
It's not twice as good.
Okay. I think the top end players and the top end teams in the CHL are legit. I think there are half the league's players across the entire country wouldn't crack NCAA rosters.
Well, I don't know about that, Frank, but we'll.
I think it gets very thin in a hurry. So when you talk about games played, I think all it does is further support my claim.
The league is getting younger up here, Frank, because the players are going down there.
Yeah, that's not making it better.
Well, but there's still some talented teams. Like you watch the Western Hockey League final here, Frank. And
I've been watching all year. I do a twice weekly segment. I'm jacked up to see Everett and Prince Albert.
Happy birthday, Frank. Have some bourbon tonight.
Maybe I will. See you, Kevin.
See you on Tuesday. Frank Cervalli, our headliner of the day, brought to you by Mr. Rooter Plumbing, knocking your plumbing problems out of the park. That's mrrooter.ca. I'm not going to agree that it's twice as good. The level of play in the NCAA is better now than the CHL for obvious reasons, but it is not twice as good as what the CHL offers. When we come back, we'll get to some of your texts. We got Pulsar coming up in the 9 o'clock hour. We'll talk some hoops, and Ladislav Schmid is going to be by at 9:30 after a little bit of a hiatus. So over in Europe, it's the Kevin Karius Show with the Duke of Delburne, Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440 AM radio. We're streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch. Looking for a solid 4x4 that checks all the boxes? The 2026 Jeep Compass is in stock now at St. Albert Dodge, and this is a great value, starting from just $36,900. It's a Jeep, so you've got 4x4 capability, plus features like an 8.4-inch touchscreen, Apple CarPlay, active lane management, a Park View rear backup camera, and more. Over 30 in stock right now in just about every color you'd want. Head up the trail and see how easy it is to do business at St. Albert Dodge.
Whether you're a craft beer connoisseur or more of a wine aficionado, there's always something new to discover at Sherbrooke Liquor, a unique, family-owned, independent liquor store. The selection, incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com.
Summer in Alberta means baseball debates.
Okay, best ballpark snack. Gotta be popcorn. Nah, it's nachos, hands down.
Nah, you're both wrong. It's mini donuts.
But when it comes to beef jerky, there's no argument.
Wilhauk Beef Jerky.
The only snack every fan agrees on. Grab some for your next ballpark outing.
Wilhauk Beef Jerky. Because you don't win games with salad. Only available in Leduc.
Are you looking for safe and reliable transportation solutions for your wedding, corporate retreat, or golf trip? Look no further than Silent Rides, Alberta's premier charter bus company. Whether your group is big or small, Silent Rides has you covered. We offer 3 different sizes of units to cater to your needs, and we provide first-class service at affordable rates. Get your quote today. For more information and to request a quote, contact sales at 877-748-0991 or visit silentrides.ca.
Hit the throttle, open her up, and get rolling to Harley-Davidson of Edmonton's open house Saturday, May 9th. Enter to win a new Harley-Davidson motorcycle and get in on the giveaways and door prizes. Come check out a huge selection of new and pre-owned bikes, riding gear, Harley t-shirts, and more. Don't miss it. This Saturday, May 9th at Harley-Davidson of Edmonton on the Yellowhead Trail. Kent family owned and operated since 1980. Details at hdedmonton.com.
Sleep is for the off-season. What off-season? Sports 1440 is live, loud, and locked 24/7. Oilers, Elks, Riverhawks, Stingers, Oil Kings. We've got your picks. Edmonton's home for sports is Sports 1440.
The tents are up and the deals are out. The Brick's biggest sale of the season is on now. Take up to 60% off clearance items in the tents. Sofas start at $3.99 and save up to 50% on select mattresses. Get a sofa, coffee table, mattress, bed frame, and dining set, all for less than $1,500. Only at the Brick's tent sale. See in store for details and exclusions. The Brick, saving you more.
Canadian Tire's Big Spring Tire Sale is back. Save up to 25% on quality tire brands including Continental, Michelin, Motomaster, and Pirelli until May 21st. Conditions apply. Details online.
The Kevin Karius Show, breaking down Edmonton's favorite teams, even though his favorite Junior A hockey team is the Yorkton Terriers. Thanks for checking in with Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program, 8:43 in Edmonton. I'm kind of looking forward to Playlist Friday tomorrow, Duke. Maybe there'll be a few more country selections.
Listen, I know I'm biased on this growing up on country music in the sticks in particular, but once the weather takes the turn for the better, as we're kind of seeing, looks like we're settling into a nice little beautiful snap of sun and temperatures up around and above 20 degrees. There's just nothing hits quite as good as some country music blasting, windows down, cruising around town maybe even windows
Like
down.
downtown Delburne?
Downtown anywhere. Around town.
Like
Around
when you
town.
do when you
downtown.
do the cruise in downtown Delburne, there's no lights, right?
There's no stoplights in Delburne.
How many four-way stops?
Lots.
So
Several over by the school. One on the main, like the end of Main Street when you come into town. A couple others sprinkled.
So when you take this drive, you have the one arm hanging out of the windshield.
Of course. Well, the windshield, that'd be
like
both.
out of the window, you know what
Yeah,
I mean?
yeah.
Also, like you got to start smoking, Duke. Like a cigarette hanging out of your mouth. Now you look like a real guy that's driving down the streets of Delburne.
Catch me at the right time, and in a recent friend or trip myself down south of the border, and come back with a few packs of primetime cigarillos, grape, blueberry, watermelon, peach, doesn't matter. Yeah, I'll rip a few of those. But that's the only, when I really dive into those, I've usually had a few drinks, and as a result, I wouldn't exactly be cruising around. I'm usually like hanging around the campsite or something is more likely.
Hey, good to hear from our old buddy Chad Harden. Where's he at again, Duke? Like he's like small town. Chad, it's not Bash. No, it's somewhere in Central. Chad, where are you hanging out again here? Just send us a note. But anyway, Chad, chuck wagon driver, longtime hockey scout. So he's listening. He says NCAA is definitely not twice as good as the CHL. And, he throws a few reasons out, players jumping from the CHL to the NHL at age and things like that. And I understand some of these arguments. Chad also says, well, Frank broke down Q. He broke down the O and the dub. Well, those numbers should be added together if you're going to be looking at to the comparable. Chad says they're at 36% compared to NCAA and guaranteed revised in Makar in NCAA numbers when a player is playing up here. That was junior A, not major junior as we used to call it. But 833-401-1440. MTR says, I want Kevin and Frank to box, and then Duke driving down the streets of Delburne, sucking on a cigarette, blasting Keith Whitley. What does that last bit mean? Looking for some,
I have to
is
say,
that a
it's sort of
woman?
Maybe you're trolling around for a piece of tail or something. I don't know.
I'll be honest, Duke. When I was I had an old 71. It was Dad's truck, GMC, and we called it the Destroyer because my brother ran over a couple signs with it.
Oh, go good signs as opposed to something else. Yeah.
But after school, when I was 16 or whatever, we would cruise down the streets of Malville looking for the girls walking home.
I was never much of a Delburne cruiser in high school. We had buddies that would literally at lunchtime, they would just go hop in the vehicles or their cars, trucks, whatever, and just drive around town. We called them loser laps.
Mm-hmm.
And that was never really my scene. I was like, what's the point? I didn't really get it. But if you actually are going somewhere, then yeah, it's cool to have the window down. Maybe give the two finger wave out the window to somebody you might see that walking down the street, even if you don't know them. It's Delburne. You probably know near everybody anyway.
Yeah, but if you're looking for what you're saying,
but in Delburne, am I expecting there to be tons of eligible women just walking down the street? No. What this isn't a Hallmark movie. What are we talking about?
Yeah, MTR says the ladies. Yeah. So, well, I don't know, Duke. I mean, I've never been to Delburne.
Well, you got to come, Kev.
I've never been to Delburne.
You need to bring the old Winnebago. Or what name do you have for the Pope-mobile? Pope-mobile. You got to bring that down. Fawn Meadows campsite. Pull in there for a night. Have a couple rounds at Fawn Meadows. You'd be treated.
Todd says that Duke be looking like D'Annunzio from Greece.
What character was that?
I don't picture. I picture Duke as either one of Lenny or Squiggy from Laverne and Shirley.
Okay.
If you're driving down and you got the arm hanging out the window, maybe a biter hanging out, as well, Duke.
Sure.
What's wrong with that?
I don't know. Is
That's because the Duke, not Fred, texts in. That's because the Duke probably only had his bicycle, So it'd be a little different going doing laps.
We've
around the
already
town.
been over this. My bicycle got ran over by the grain truck when I was like in 7th grade, and that was the end of that. No, in high school, I was ripping around in my first car was a 1994 Lincoln Town car, and it was badass as hell.
Yeah.
And then occasionally, before I got that, my sister's was an 88 Dodge Ram single cab long box, hood ornament and everything, like the ram head on the front of it. That was, and stick shift, 4 on the floor. Just the bench seat up front. That was a fun little truck to rip around, and 2-wheel drive, obviously.
Hammer texts in. Only one way to find out, because we're talking about NCAA and CHL. The Memorial Cup champ versus the NCAA champ. I'd like to see it, Hammer, only under this stipulation. The NCAA teams would play 60 games, 62 games. Then they would play 4 best-of-7 rounds. And then that's just to get out of their conference. And then out of every conference, the 4 teams meet, and then they bang each other's brains out for another 10 days or a week or whatever it is. They say that the Stanley Cup is the hardest trophy to win. And I know the comparable. I get it. The Memorial Cup trophy is harder to win than the Stanley Cup, only because after 4 rounds of playoffs, you go up against the best that the other 2 leagues and the host, who's loaded up, get to play. So tack on another, let's see, 30, 50, another ballpark 60 games minimum. 60 games minimum for the NCAA champ. And we'll see what they got left in the tank too. Plus, you can go ride the bus all over Western Canada and Ontario too. Hey, Duke, how about your buddy Attica always gets the last word in? Delburne's a dump. Oh, that is so good. Not Fred says, the more I hear about the Duke's childhood, I wonder now how he even got out of Delburne. My buddy Wes Snipes sent me a link. I don't know. Snipes, you know, the links don't work. What are you sending? Type it out and I'll tell our listeners. He says something for the Habs fans, and it's some link to something. Derek, I think he's agreeing with me. KK, I argue that the hardest trophy in sports to win is the Memorial Cup, bar none, from Derek. I just kind of said that, I think, Derek. That's how, I mean, again, you're playing 64 games or whatever it is. Then you got 4 rounds. Like this is going to be a battle royale. Everett's got such a good team. Such a good team. You know who we're going to try to get on next week, Duke? I got to see the schedule. So it's Friday, Saturday in Everett. Do you have it up at all? I'll just keep talking if you punch it up. So it's Friday, Saturday in Everett. Then I assume, and what happens is the teams fly back and forth here. They share the same plane, or they used to. They used to. I'm pretty sure they still do. Then they would have probably Sunday, Monday, Tuesday off, or Tuesday.
I am seeing Friday, Saturday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, because those 3 games are all in Prince Albert.
So they take 3 out of 4. So the Friday game 5 would be in Prince Albert.
That's right.
Okay.
And then Sunday, Monday, 4 back in Everett, back to back.
Perfect. So fair. So that Friday morning for next week, we'll try to get Lisa Longball-Vlusik on, because her son, remember, got traded from Red Deer to Everett. Luke.
Yeah, and I'd reached out to the Raiders. This was a little bit later yesterday, so they might have already been, shuffling to get things on the way out to Everett or whatever, just through their comms department to see about getting somebody from the team on, not necessarily a player, but coach, broadcast, whatever, to talk about them heading into Everett to play. But I never heard anything back. Hopefully we can maybe link up next week to get a little bit of a deeper dive into, like, both you and Frank both said it, and like obviously Frank has his thoughts on the CHL as a whole compared to NCAA right now, but there's no denying, and he's very frank about it, no pun intended, that like these 2 teams are dynamite. Like this is going to be a whale of a series.
It's on
here.
TSN too, right?
All 3 league final series are going to be broadcast on TSN. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm really looking forward to that for sure. Text 833-401-1440. Triple C in a truck says the hardest cup to win is the World Cup. Soccer, guys. Well, okay, we're talking about 2 different things, I think, here, but Stanley Cup's difficult. Memorial Cup's difficult. And again, when you're playing the league's other best teams after you win your own league, very difficult. But yeah, I'm going to send a note out to Lisa, and because she's like, I mean, she goes to every game. Like her and her husband travel. They go to every game that I think almost Luke plays. So I think that's to follow their son around. I mean, man, they support him. And one of the questions I want to see, I think Luke used to beat her, and Lisa's the world long drive champion. She can hit the ball a ton. And she said the last time we were on that he was beating her with a 5-iron. So now that'll be a year later. He's probably beating her with a 7-iron or something like that. Oh boy. Coming up at the top of the hour, we're going to change gears, talk a little basketball with Paul Sir from Hoop City. And then Ladislav Schmid will be by in the 9 o'clock hour, sometime around 9:30. Before all that, time now for a Sports 1440 update. Brought to you by All-Star Construction. They shape and build Edmonton communities, specializing in underground utilities like power, gas, telecommunications, and street lighting. That's All-Star Construction. Here is the Duke.
The Sports 1440 update.
Pair of games in the Stanley Cup playoffs last night. The Sabres take game one over the Habs by a score of 4-2. Power play gets going for the Sabres with 2-man advantage goals in the contest. And the Anaheim Ducks even their second-round series with the Vegas Golden Knights at 1 game apiece after a 3-1 victory in Sin City. In the association, Sixers fall to the Knicks 108-102 from MSG to go down 2-0 in that second-round matchup. And the Spurs pull even with the Timberwolves winning 113-95. Stephen Castle leading the way with 21 points. That series knotted up at 1 game apiece. In the majors yesterday, full slate, including the Blue Jays finishing off their series in Tampa, losing. They get swept by the Rays 3-0 yesterday's final. They'll have the day off today before opening a set over the weekend. Elsewhere, Dodgers beat the Astros 12-2. Seattle topping the Braves 3-1. Boston blanking Detroit 4-0. The Yankees fall to Texas 6-1. And the Cubbies, they get past Cincinnati 7-6. Off the field, Detroit Tigers pitcher Framber Valdez given a 6-game suspension for intentionally throwing at Red Sox hitter Trevor Story in their game Tuesday. Also receiving an undisclosed fine. And Tigers manager A.J. Hinch receiving a 1-game suspension that he served in yesterday's game. Coming up in hour 3 of the Kevin Karius Show, we'll be joined by Hoop City's Paul Sir, as well as our Thursday co-host, former NHL defenseman Ladislav Schmid. I'm Brandon Douglas at your Sports 1440 update.
This is Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to CKJR wherever you go.
Your protein drink should work as hard as you do. That's why Booster Juice is hitting the gym harder than ever, brother. Meet your new gym buddies, the Way Too Good and Green Gains Booster Mixers. 2 new ripped and refreshing menu options that bench some serious protein. Perfect for pre or post workout. Way Too Good and Green Gains Booster Mixers taste like motivation. So what are you waiting for? Let's go!
Booster Juice. Canadian born, blending since 1999.
A lot of you love hockey season. But when it comes to construction season, you're not as excited unless you work for GS Construction. It's true. As one season is winding down, ours is winding up with all sorts of great projects to make the city we live in better. And our team is hiring. GS Construction is scouting for pipe layers, topmen, and heavy equipment operators. So if you want to score a great job, visit gsconstruction.ca today.
You wanted local sports on weekends. Saturday mornings at 9, check out the Saturday Sports Setup, where we'll tee up what's happening on the weekend sports scene. Tune in Saturday morning at 9 on Sports 1440.
Who's that working on the underground utilities over there? All-Star Construction, that's who. What about the street lighting? Yep, All-Star Construction. And the directional drilling, hydrovacking, neighborhood renewal, and telecommunication work? Yep. Since 2009, All-Star Construction has been doing all that and more, shaping and building Edmonton communities for land developers all around Edmonton. That's what All-Star Construction is all about.
Summer, it's coming. An unstoppable force that will turn your home into the Sweatbox.
Don't live in a summer blockbuster. Pro Solutions is your one-call solves-it-all expert for AC repairs, tune-ups, and new installations. With fast appointments and flexible financing, we'll make sure your home story has a comfortable ending. AC season is coming soon, so book today.
Lock in free season pricing today.
Visit prosolutionsinc.ca to schedule your service today.
McValue meals are here. Get the McD's you love for $5 plus tax every day with your choice of a McDouble, junior chicken, or chicken snack wrap with small fries and small fountain drink. All for just $5 plus taxes. Canadian restaurants. Product availability varies. Prices exclude delivery.
Everybody loves a beautiful day in Edmonton. Hey, it's Jamie, and Green Drop Lawn Care is giving you one more reason to love the nice weather. Next nice day service. People always ask, how soon can Green Drop get here? Well, when you sign up with Next Nice Day service, we'll be there by tomorrow. Assuming Mother Nature cooperates, we'll be fertilizing and treating your weeds by the very next day. We'll even include drought fighter at no additional cost. Just another reason we have been Canada's lawn expert since 1979. Easy online signups only at greendrop.com.
For over 60 years, the folks at Diablo Boots have been selling the best Canadian-made boots. Handcrafted in Winnipeg, Canada West makes the best quality cowboy, biker, and work boots for Diablo Boots with replaceable soles and heels. Why buy cheaper quality like Ariat, Justin, and Red Wing made in China when Canadian-made is better? Support Canada's workers and Diablo Boots for the best boots. So save on boots by Save on Foods. That's Diablo Boots, 3340 Gateway Boulevard on the east side of Save on Foods. Canada West and Diablo Boots, the two best names in the boots business.
Have your sports curiosity cured with the Kevin Karius Show. This is Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 9:01 in Edmonton, and time now for the game of the day. Brought to you by St. Albert Dodge, where you can land a 2026 Jeep Compass 4x4 for $36,900. The features include, well, there are a lot. 8.4-inch touchscreen, active lane management, the Apple CarPlay, remote keyless illuminated entry, the rear backup camera, the alarm, and much, much more. They've got 24 of them in stock at stalbertdodge.com. As we welcome in Paul Sir from Hoop City. Good morning, Paul. As always, thanks for jumping on Sports 1440 this morning. Really appreciate it, big guy.
Great to be here, Kevin. Great to be here.
What did you think of that San Antonio game last night? Man, they really laid the boots to them, didn't they?
Oh, my goodness. What we saw from the Timberwolves was the Jekyll and Hyde show of a tough, hard-nosed win in game number one. It was ugly. It wasn't a particularly well-played game by either team. But the Wolves made it ugly, and they came out with a win on the road, which was great. But man, oh man, they didn't even show up last night. And San Antonio came ready to go. Their youth, their speed, just their level of compete was so much higher than the Wolves. Wolves looked discombobulated. Anthony Edwards, Kevin, isn't himself. The Sunmo was back after being off for 3 games with a soft tissue injury. They just never got going. And like you said, San Antonio laid the boots to them, even the series up. Now they go back to the Twin Cities.
Hey, let me ask you this as a coach, Paul. So if you're playing a team of best of 7, and do you have the mindset you're going, okay, man, if we're on the road, we like starting on the road. A lot of NHL teams love starting on the road. And maybe you know that, Paul. And maybe it's the same in basketball. I'm not sure.
It is.
Do you go in and go, hey, okay, if we can get a split here, we're happy. But then when you win that first one, sometimes it seems more often than not, there's a letdown in game 2 for some reason. Why do you think that is?
A couple of reasons I believe that always enter into it. Number one, the emotional peak that you have to play at to steal a game on a very strong opponent's home court. That's hard to duplicate night after night. And the Wolves definitely came out ready to compete. They looked flat, and honestly, I thought last night was a snapshot of what the Timberwolves season was like, because the inconsistency in their effort. One other thing that coaches always say, Kevin, is control what you can control. And one thing you can always control is your effort. And a specific example would be getting back on defense. That requires sprinting. The Wolves weren't doing that in the first 3 quarters. They were jogging back, and the Spurs were on fire, and you had Castle and Wemby, and Harper was fantastic last night. They're the fine rookie that they have. Wolves just weren't there. So from a coaching standpoint, there's a mental letdown. There's certainly an uptick in the focus on the part of the home team because they don't want to go down 2-0. So you're right. Usually, if you can sneak out the first one, more often than not, the second one isn't even close. And that goes without saying. Last night, I mean, what was the final? 113-95.
Yeah,
I mean, it was twice that.
Yeah,
they got absolutely walloped.
Yeah. So for Minnesota, how much does playing at home here help? Because what I'm trying to say here, Paul, what can they draw on, and how much can they draw on how they played Denver at home, where they won all 3 games that they played against the Nuggets, and quite handily. They weren't that close games.
Minnesota, to this point, seems to be a very, very good home court team. A lot of teams, and you know this from the NHL as well, Kevin, a lot of times the pressure that teams feel at home impairs their play. They don't play as freely as they might on the road when they feel like they have the adversity of the crowd of the opponent going against them. They tend to loosen up. The Wolves seem to respond to their crowds really well. Where I think the Wolves are drawing hope is Anthony Edwards getting better? Like physically, is he getting better? Will Dosunmu be able physically to show up and make an impact on the game? Will the rest of the team stop doing what they did last night, was just chuck and chase from the 3-point line? They ran very few sets. There were a lot of single possessions where the Wolves came down and whoever had the ball, whether it was Edwards or Bones Highland or Shannon, there were no passes literally in multiple possessions. So the Wolves, to your question, seem to respond well to their hometown fans on their home court. Should be an advantage, but they're playing a young, hungry Spurs team that ain't the Denver Nuggets on defense. And so they're going to have to play a lot better than they did last night to even be in the games going forward.
Paul Sir with us from Hoop City on the Kevin Karius Show here on Sports 1440. The other game last night saw the New York Knicks take a 2-0 series lead over the Sixers with a 108-102 win. It was sort of an ugly win, if you want to call it that by the Knicks. But you know, with Philadelphia being so banged up right now, with Joel Embiid out and others that didn't play in the fourth quarter yesterday, Paul, is this unfolding like you thought it probably would?
I think so. The Knicks have been on such a hot streak, the way they blew Atlanta out in their last 3 games. And then, of course, the way they ran roughshod over a very exhausted 76ers team after a tough 7-game series against the Celtics. So I think game 2 from Philadelphia's perspective is a plus, because they righted the ship. They know they can compete with the Knicks. They know they can mix it up and make it ugly. Paul George, who has had such an injury-filled last 2 career, really is really playing like himself again. And of course, the great guard combination of the rookie Edgecombe with Tyrese Maxey, who's evolving into a star in the NBA. I think they feel pretty confident going back to Philadelphia that they can compete with this team. And once again, the 76ers are a pretty good home team. So I don't think this series is over by any stretch, particularly if Embiid can come back and be part of the Sixers' efforts against the Knicks in the upcoming 2 home games.
The 2 games tonight, Paul, we'll start with OKC and the LA Lakers. And OKC didn't get a whole heck of a lot from SGA in game 1, didn't need it. I said last week, I think it was, that I'm not sure if the Lakers can score 100 points a game in this series if they ever reach that mark. Where do you see the Lakers? And even asking that question, can they score 100 points in a game in this series here?
I'd be surprised if they did. I think actually that's a really good call on your part, Kevin, because OKC, Jeez Louise, man. Thought you were a hockey guy, but now here you're breaking down basketball like that. But that's a great observation. OKC, as good as they are offensively, as great as SGA is, as the almost certain MVP to be named shortly, they are a better defensive team than they are an offensive team. So they're going to make it really hard on the Lakers. LeBron had a nice game. He got going early. I don't know if he'll be able to do that game in and game out. Austin Reeves was hideous, and maybe some of that's rust, but a lot of that is also the way that OKC dogs shooters. They make shooters' lives miserable. Lou Dort, I mean, you do not want to be guarded by Lou Dort, the great Montreal player, because he's like a linebacker, and he's athletic. He's like a linebacker with defensive back speed. Like, he is so athletic and so strong and so long. He makes guys like Reeves really have to work for every point. So to your point, I would look for this. I've said this before, and other people have said it too. If the Lakers would win one game in this series, that would be a major triumph.
Do you think it took a scare from Orlando for Detroit to kind of click it into gear here?
Well, I think it certainly helped because they had to wake up, and Todd, that was a razor's edge. It was kind of like the Raptors going to 7 games on RJ's great shot that the basketball gods blessed and had it go through. But the same thing happened with the Orlando Magic and the inexplicable meltdown. Here's a night in the NBA. The Atlanta Hawks come out, play against, they're playing in the Celtics, and they get 38 points in the first half. Do I have that right? Or no, they had the Knicks. I'm sorry. Okay. 38 points in the first half, and you're thinking, oh my God, that's awful. And by the way, the Wolves last night had 35 in the first half. Awful performance. But then the Magic are up 25 in the first half and score 19 points in the second half. The 38 and the 19, they halved what the Hawks scored. And that isn't a good ratio. So yeah, Detroit's awake. Cleveland's an interesting team. There's a lot of Did people predict this? James Harden would be under the spotlight and under the microscope as somebody that is potentially letting Cleveland down. I think between Mitchell and Harden, they had 9 assists and 8 turnovers, and that's just not a ratio you can live with. So Harden's got to tighten his act up. The big guys on Detroit are going to give Cleveland a lot more. They're going to create a lot more difficulty for the bigs from Detroit because Detroit's so good defensively. So it'll be interesting to see how Cleveland responds tonight. But right now, Detroit looks like they're awake. They look like the better team, but Cleveland has the potential to play a lot better than they did in Game 1.
Paul Sir from Hoop City with us on the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440. I got to bring in your sidekick from Saturday mornings, Josh Fenwick, who's just been chomping at the bit here, Paul, because he just wants to peck your brain and just get into that mind that is just so consumed with basketball here.
My wife would agree with you on that, so yes.
Well, Josh,
right, Josh, how you doing, buddy? Can't hear you, my friend.
Oh, look at this again. Now Duke's left the building, and Josh is trying to do the board. He's trying to do everything.
There we go. What about this now? Can you hear me now,
that, Paul? How's that?
Juggling chainsaws on a unicycle, Josh. Doing a great job, buddy.
Does that mean you can hear me?
I can hear you now.
All right, go for it, Joshy.
All right. So, Paul, you brought it up. Defense in the Pistons-Cavs series has really been the name of the game, and James Harden in particular being under the microscope. So I'm just wondering what you're seeing from the Pistons specifically that are making it so hard on their guards in Harden and Mitchell that keep forcing these turnovers.
Well, I think it comes down to this. They have a defensive mindset. J.B. Bickerstaff, the head coach, University of Minnesota player. Dad was a great NBA coach. He has really got Detroit almost buying into the history of the Pistons and the bad boys from back in the 80s, is that they're going to beat you up on defense. They're going to be very physical, and they're going to beat you up. Cade Cunningham is a big guy. Like, he's 6'7", and he's guarding you out front, you've got a big guy on you, and he's quick laterally, so he can stay in front of a lot of players. The Pistons also are able physically to not get overwhelmed by Donovan Mitchell. I mean, Mitchell's a powerful player too. I was referring to Luguentz Dort as that strong linebacker type. Mitchell's kind of the same body type as well, and he overwhelms with his strength a lot of defenders in the NBA, but he can't do that with Detroit. So I think the fact that they can play physically with Cleveland in the front, keep the players in front of them, and they don't fall for a lot of hardened stuff where he's throwing his arms into defenders and getting the calls, which he has mastered. And one of the reasons he's going to be in the Hall of Fame is the way he mastered drawing fouls and drawing contact in the way he has. Detroit's not as prone to be overwhelmed by Harden. Plus, they play tremendous help side defense. So when Harden starts to break the defense down, he doesn't get a lot of clear paths to the rim. And Duran, their big, who really has emerged this season, is a great rim protector. So they've got pieces in place that are designed really to match up well with the strengths that the Cleveland guards have.
You got one more, Josh?
Oh, I got one
if
more.
You're tapped out.
I got one more. I want to move to the other side of the NBA now in this series that you are definitely keeping your eyes closest on with your Timberwolves, and talking about the DPOY. Obviously, Wemby gets the block record, but his offensive game hasn't really come around. So what is it that the Timberwolves are doing to really stifle what Wemby could be doing on the offensive end of the floor? Is it what they're forcing him to do on defense, or is it their defensive scheme that are making tough shots for Wemby?
Well, I think it's both because Wemby, after the first game, talked about the energy that he put out on the defensive side when he had 12 blocks, an NBA record, although Chris Finch says 8 of them were goaltends. I haven't watched the film on that, so I don't have a comment. The thing that they're doing, this isn't Kansas anymore, Dorothy, Wizard of Oz. This is playoff basketball. And I think what you're seeing from the Wolves is what I would call a 90s style of defense. Within the rules in the 2020s, they're playing as close as you can to the 90s, which is a very physical brand of defense. The thing about Wemby is he's a lot stronger this year than he was last year, but he's still a slender 7'4", 7'5" guy. And where he had so much success and absolutely blows everybody's mind is his ability to take his man on defense off the dribble. Wolves aren't letting him do that. And when Wemby does try to get into the low block, you've got beasts like Rudy Gobert and Julius Randle bumping him, pushing him, forcing him out, and making him real uncomfortable. But the great thing about the way the Spurs have designed and built their team is that while Wemby hasn't been as productive as I think people would have expected him to be, there are so many other pieces that have been effective that they really don't need Wemby getting 25 to 30 a game to be successful. He'll have to work his way into this, and this is new territory for him. He's got to learn to play in a 7-game physical series and reimagine his game, because he's not going to be able to just play downhill like he did during the regular season.
Way to work, Josh. Phenomenal. Just phenomenal. Hey, this is from our text line, Paul. Mark wants to know, and this is a tough one because, I mean, you built this team, and we're talking the Raptors here, that you built this team around 2 of these guys. But here's the question. Can you ask Paul, is it time to move on from Ingram and Quigley? They miss so much time, and they take up so much of the Caps payroll. From Mark.
It depends on it's a great question, Mark. And I think it's the conundrum the Raptors will face in the offseason is, will these players be available when it really matters? Now, one of the comments on Ingram, which I think is a black mark against him, is he was available. And in fact, he was the NBA Player of the Week in the final week, which is kind of like the last week of school. You don't get much done before summer break. But Ingram was playing well going into the playoffs, and then he just evaporated under the pressure that the Cavaliers put on him. That's always been the question about Ingram. Big, tall, slender guy, kind of has the same issues as Wemby has. is that when the playoffs come and everybody knows your tendencies, they're going to go at you and try to take away what you can do best. And they really they out-physicaled Ingram, and he was dreadful in the games he was able to play before his injury. Quickly, I think a lot of people go, why him? Why did they invest so much in him? He did play well for the Knicks before they brought him over, but I'm curious to see what Bobby Webster and the Raptors management will try to do to see if they can be successful in getting good value, because that's the thing they have to get. They've invested a lot in these two. A lot of their future rests with these two. So they might be in a position where in the modern NBA, where trades are a lot tougher to do, they might have to live with their decision and see and hope that these two guys can stay healthy and see how good this team can become.
Want to close things out with the Edmonton Stingers here, Paul. So they tip off, the season on Saturday. It's coming up quick here against the Winnipeg Sea Bears. What kind of team will the Stingers have on the floor this year?
I have no idea, to be honest. And I don't mean that in a negative way. It's they brought back some good pieces. Nick Hornsby in his fourth season, and Nick's a great leader and a kind of a Swiss Army knife type of player, as is Marcel Boursier. He's back as well. They have a couple of U Sports guys, Tay Donald, who had a good year overseas, and Aaron Rooms from out east, who was the U Sports Player of the Year. So they've got some good Canadian content in addition to the leadership that Nick Hornsby presents. They were not able to sign either Xavier Moon or Sean East, which were big losses. And now they've brought in a bunch of players. They've got some good long G League players that have good resumes. They've got a real good guard out of Indiana State who had an outstanding season. So they're supposed to have a big out of Pacific University that played for the great Dave Smart, who won all those championships at Carleton, who now coaches in Division I down in the U.S. So they've got some pieces. How those pieces will fit together remains to be seen. Winnipeg, I'm not sure if I don't think Moon's there yet. We'll have to wait and see. I haven't heard confirmation because he's been playing over in Russia. But they've got some proven CEBL people as well. So it'll be interesting to see. That's one thing about the CEBL is you really don't know year to year what your roster is going to look like. So Jordan Baker, the CEO, president, and head coach, has put together a bunch of new faces. And the one thing I love about the Stingers, though, it's always a good time. It's a great show. So it's a lot of fun to go to. So I hope they'll fill the place up for opening day, 1:30 over at Hall D at the Expo Center.
Yeah, you're right. The atmosphere is really, really cool in there. What's coming up on Hoop City on Saturday for you, Paul?
We have the voice of the Indiana Fever in the WNBA. He also does the Indiana Pacers work, Pat Boylan. He's going to join us and talk about the Fever's outlook for the season and the WNBA, which also kicks off at about the same time on Saturday as the Stingers do. So Pat will be on. My good friend Ben Golliver is going to be back on. We're going to do our deep dive into the NBA. So we'll dissect everything and we'll get right down to the molecules on the NBA. So it'll be great. And of course, we'll have our community champion segment as well and celebrate someone who does great things in our local basketball community.
My buddy Rice Aroni texted it and says, even a blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while, Kevin. Good observation about the Lakers. There you go.
There's another way to say that, but I won't say it on the radio. The sun shines bright on a dog's
ass. Yeah, you mentioned.
Yeah.
I'll say it. It's the difference. Hey, thanks, Paul. Have a great show on Saturday. Thanks a lot, as always, for coming on.
Appreciate it, Kevin. Take care.
Paul Sir from Hoop City. You hear him every Saturday with Josh Fenwick, 10 to 12, right here on Sports 1440. And that's the game of the day, brought to you by St. Albert Dodge, where, again, you can pick up a 2026 Jeep Compass for under $36,900. I was at St. Albert Dodge yesterday. Got an oil change in my Dodge Durango. I had 2 coffee, Duke. I sat in the...
Just regular coffee? I know a lot of the time they got some nice cappuccino machines and stuff.
I had an Americano
very nice.
And then What's funny is I was on my phone a lot, just kind of waiting around, doing some stuff.
You're on your phone the whole time, and still Frank's crucifixion on social media never came across your feed, or were you just playing solitaire on your phone?
No. I was cleaning out, like I was getting rid of old texts and calls.
All the group messages.
And actually on your like contact list.
Oh, okay.
And I'll be honest, Duke, and
you unblocked Sean Smith?
No, but I erased I just, erased a bunch of contacts. And I'll be honest, it was sort of sad because I did about 5 or 6 guys that were dead.
Oh,
and then there was a few that have died, but I don't have the heart to take it out yet. You know what I mean?
That's tough.
Yeah. So anyway, when we come back, we'll get to Cam Tate's Cam and Eggs and await the arrival of one Ladislav Schmid on the Kevin Karius Show with the Duke of Delburne and Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440 AM radio. We're streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch.
Mr. Rooter gets attacked by a Canada goose.
Oh, look at that. Another on-time arrival. Nothing stops Mr. Rooter from plumbing on schedule. You gotta be kidding me. Hello, Mr. Goose. I'm Mr. Rooter. Okay, this is what you train for. Through rain, sleet, or goose, the pipes get fixed.
For a plumber who does whatever it takes, Mr. Rooter.
You wanted local sports on weekends. Saturday mornings at 9, check out the Saturday Sports Setup, where we'll tee up what's happening on the weekend sports scene. Tune in Saturday morning at 9 on Sports 1440.
At Hughes, it's all about getting in and out quick and clean. No cash, no problem. With Hughes' new tap and wash system, all you need is your debit or credit card to get your vehicle sparkling clean.
Find us at HughesCarWash.com.
60 years ago, we started selling trucks as Western GMC Buick. Today, we are Wolf GMC Buick. We're still located on the corner of 184th Street and Stony Plain Road with the same ownership for over 2 decades. Our customers have trusted our family-owned, community-driven business. And for that, we are thankful. If you're looking for a truck or SUV, pop in and one of our seasoned professionals will get you a great deal, hassle-free. Come trust our team at Wolf GMC Buick. Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy.
Why should you drive a Subaru? How about durability, style, and an excellent customer experience from the moment you step into the showroom? And how about accolades, including awards for numerous 2026 Subaru models from both AutoTrader and JD Power? But don't just take my word for it. Take a test drive and you'll see why the Subaru name is recognized and renowned for quality. To learn more, visit Subaru.ca. Welcome to Uncommon. Welcome to Subaru.
Bashaw Concrete Products. From concrete and septic tanks to blocks, precast water pads, Jersey barriers, and aggregate. Farmers, contractors, homeowners. Plan your next project at BashawConcrete.com. Family owned. Over 60 years pouring. Bashaw Concrete Products. Once again, start here. BashawConcrete.com.
Sports 1440. All sports, all day.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Thanks for listening to Edmonton's sports leader.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 9:27 in Edmonton, and even here a couple of minutes earlier, I cannot believe it, but welcome back to the studio, Ladislav Schmid. Woo! It's been what, 5-6 weeks, Laddie?
6 weeks, I think.
Wow.
Good morning, everyone.
When did you get back into town?
Tuesday afternoon.
So you're starting to feel a little bit better. Or not?
Today
Takes a
was
few
a
more
rough
days?
morning.
Yeah.
Rough morning, early nights. Yeah,
Oh,
still
yeah.
getting used to, but not bad.
But good to be home.
Oh yeah, I'm
Oh,
excited to be
yeah.
back with family,
I
kids.
guess. Well,
Even though they're driving me nuts already, fighting nonstop.
So
My
two-
wife warned me.
2 days.
2
Well,
days.
so now, okay, they didn't have the laddie discipline for 5 weeks.
Exactly.
So now,
It's very loose. Very loose. Ain't gonna happen under my
so
watch.
now what do you got to do now? You got to just say this is the law.
This is the law, especially the youngest one. He
Oh,
is like
boy.
off the leash right now. Like
Yeah.
I can't believe he doesn't listen to anybody. Starts fights all the time. Well, my older son helps with that as well. But yeah, the young guy, well, Zane, he's gonna be something between me and my dad. My
Okay.
dad was the worst, I'd say, from what I heard, like
Yeah.
behaving at the early age. I was pretty bad, but not as bad. So Zane's gonna be right in between. I hope he's gonna be closer to me than to my dad. That's the hope.
Well, so again, yeah, when parents go away, and it's hard to parent, like just with
Like it is hard.
Yeah.
Like I can't imagine, but yeah, it's gonna be a little disciplined now. Like I don't want to be too strict because I'm also excited to be
Wow,
back.
yeah,
with him.
and
I don't want to
mean,
be the
they've
whipping stick.
it's coming. Yeah, it's coming up summer here, and
Yeah,
you know,
it's busy summer. Like I'm going back to Czech in 6 weeks, 5 weeks.
at the end of June, right?
Middle of the June, yeah.
Middle of June.
Middle of the June, yeah.
Wow. Well, we got you till almost the end of the playoffs.
Yeah, I'll still gotta be back in July for a little bit. So it's kind of in and out now.
Well, that's
starting the new gig.
Yeah. Well, we'll get to all that stuff in a bit, but while you were gone, and I guess because Laddie's been gone, so we added Cam Tate, and Cam for a long time.
Yeah.
And Cam, so now what he does, he types in it's like a minute and a half. We call it Cam and Eggs.
That's what I was wondering when Duke sent me the lineup. I was like Cam and Eggs. Like, well, what is that? I've been away only for 6 weeks, and there's new things. I'm like, are they replacing me?
No, so that's what. So Cam types it in, and then through AI or whatever, the internet, and then bang, a voice comes out. And I believe this is edition number 22 or 3, Duke. One of them. So here's another edition of Cam and Eggs. Have a listen, laddie.
Cam in Eggs, order 23. I was thinking about the morning of Game 5, back when the Oilers were locked in a dogfight with the Anaheim Ducks. I found myself beside their head coach, the man they call Q, Joel Quenneville. Now, Joel's got a game face that could stop a puck midair, but I asked him, Joel, how much fun are you actually having? And folks, it was like I'd flipped a switch on a bobblehead. His arms started waving, his voice practically cracked a smile, which is a rare meteorological event in itself, and he beamed. Yes. Then he starts telling me about taking the whole team to Disneyland. Can you imagine? A busload of pro hockey players trading their skates for Mickey ears. At that point, the Ducks were up 3-1 in the series. They eventually clipped the Oilers' wings, taking the series 4-2. It just goes to show, sometimes a little pixie dust is harder to defend against than a power play. All that glitters in Vegas. Anaheim Ducks at T-Mobile Arena was a head-scratcher. Get this, Vegas, a team with more stars than a midnight sky in the desert, came out flatter than a pancake in the first period. They managed only 4, count them, 4 shots on goal in the opening frame. 4. I've seen more action at a library on a Sunday morning. Now, I have to ask, how's your evening, Mr. Tortorella? John's likely having a fit seeing that kind of output. While the Knights' penalty kill was as stubborn as a rusty gate, you can't win games by just standing in front of your own net. Anaheim didn't mind the quiet start. They just kept chipping away. Beckett Seneke broke the ice in the second, and Leo Carlsson doubled down in the third. Mark Stone tallied for Vegas. Series now moves back to Anaheim tied 1 game apiece. And it makes me wonder today, any Ducks at Disneyland today? It is, after all, an off day. Back later today with Mr. Glasses himself, V. Gregor. For Cam and Eggs, I'm Cam Tate. Keep your stick on the ice, Edmonton. Sports 1440.
Well, there you go.
I love it.
That's your first time you listen to Cam and Eggs.
I love it.
Yeah. No.
Who came up with this?
Well, he does it with Gregor's show. He's been doing it with Gregor's show in the afternoon.
He might take over Gregor's show.
Yeah. But and then he said, well, do you want to do something in the morning? I said, yeah, sure. You got to figure it out. But I don't know the technical, how they do it and stuff, how he types it in. And then it just goes to some, again, an AI or something. I don't know.
Cool.
And
That's
then
very cool.
And then on Fridays, I read it.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to have to tune in for Friday.
So, hey, we'll take a quick break. We'll come back and we're going to ask Laddie all about what happened in Slovakia with the under 18s and everything else. Maybe, I don't know how much of the Oilers he saw, but we'll talk about a little bit about everything. Kevin Karius, Ladislav Schmid, the Duke of Delburne, Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440 AM radio. We're streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch.
What's that? Is that actually spring? Like no snow squalls or bad weather tomorrow? It's actually spring? Well, GS Construction welcomes the warmer weather because that means we can really get to work. Now, it doesn't matter if there was bad weather. This is our time to shine. But we can't do it without good people to do that work. That's why GS Construction is hiring pipe layers, topmen, and heavy equipment operators. If you want to join a team who loves their work, visit gsconstruction.ca today.
Get ready for a night of rock with the Gene Simmons Band. Monday, November 30th at Silent Ice Center in Nisku. The Gene Simmons Band, performing your favorite classic hits. Monday, November 30th at Silent Ice Center in Nisku. Tickets on sale now at silenticecenter.com. Don't miss the Gene Simmons Band.
Your protein drink should work as hard as you do. That's why Booster Juice is hitting the gym harder than ever, brother. Meet your new gym buddies, the Way Too Good and Green Gains Booster Mixers. 2 new ripped and refreshing menu options that bench some serious protein. Perfect for pre or post workout. Way Too Good and Green Gains Booster Mixers taste like motivation. So what are you waiting for? Let's go!
Booster Juice. Canadian born, blending since 1999.
You wanted local sports on weekends. Saturday mornings at 9, check out the Saturday Sports Setup, where we'll tee up what's happening on the weekend sports scene. Tune in Saturday morning at 9 on Sports 1440.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. And stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Centre. Looking for the perfect place to host your next big event? From trade shows to galas, meetings, and concerts, the Edmonton Expo Centre has the space, event expertise, and service to make your next event unforgettable. With over 522,000 square feet of flexible event space, in-house catering, and operational expertise, they bring your biggest vision to life. Learn more at edmontonexpocenter.com today.
The puck is passed up through the neutral zone, and here's a breakaway. He's coming in hot. He shoots it. Oh no, a broken stick.
When it comes to performance, quality parts matter. Napa Auto Parts has all the reliable parts, tools, and more to keep your vehicle running like a playoff contender. With over 85 locations in Alberta, visit your local Napa store today or shop online at napacanada.com. That's Napa know-how.
Stories, guests, and insights. This is Sports 1440 and the Kevin Karius Show.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 9:37 in Edmonton. Kevin Karius, Ladislav Schmid with you, along with the Duke of Delburne and Josh Fenwick here on Sports 1440 AM radio. Text lines ready to rock and roll. If you got something to ask Laddie, 833-401-1440. Matt and LeDuc will get to yours momentarily. But Laddie, back after the World Under 18 Championship, and You guys had a good showing. Let's go back to the semifinal game against Sweden.
Oh my God! Don't even get me started.
Okay, sorry but it's a 4-3 loss in overtime.
Yeah.
How close like?
Oh, we were up 3-1.
Yeah,
we were up 3-1. Then questionable goal on 3-2. Well, questionable. It was a goal, but we challenged it for offside, and it was like millimeters. And like if that goal wouldn't happen, I believe we would have won. But it was a terrible turnover. Regardless, they came. It went to 3-2, and then in third period, like up until then, we outshot them. We still outshot them the whole game, outchanced them. But with that goal, something switched. In third period, it was more Sweden, more chances for Sweden, but we still hit the post, had a breakaway. Then they tied it up on like a kind of nothing play, just around the boards, and the guy cut in front of the net, made it 3-3. Then I think we had another breakaway, but we couldn't score. 3-3 goes to the overtime, and Sweden was better in overtime. It just like their skill just showed, and we lost the stick on the final play, so they locked us in our D zone, and they waited for an opportunity that came, and they scored a 4-3. It was heartbreaking because honestly, like not too many people had us in the finals, but we were super close to finals, and nobody expected that. I think we caught Sweden by surprise. We beat them in a stage group too, 2-1. Outplayed them there, outshot them, which again nobody expected it. We beat US. We haven't lost in regulation all tournament.
Yeah.
It was it was crazy because like I said, going into the season, this birth year wasn't as strong as the previous ones, but the guys bought what we were selling. Like we made some tough decisions. We left some like high talent home.
Yeah, and how proud were you of? Because when you lose that game, and that, you got to play in the bronze, and they always talk about But how proud are you, the guys, to come back and you beat Latvia 4-1?
Yeah,
to win the bronze.
Well, to put it all in perspective, so we played a later game. It was at 7 p.m. game, which for us that was the first time we played. Up until then, we play only latest was 4 p.m. So 7 p.m. It went to the overtime. They score at the end of the overtime with 41 seconds left. So we finished the game around 10 p.m. Guys were crushed, crying in the locker room. It was tough. And then we play at 3 p.m. next morning. Next afternoon. I was like, oh, this is gonna be rough. But somehow we got them going. And like after like first period was kind of so. It was they score a first goal. Thank God we score like in like next 2 minutes we scored, tied it up, and then we scored another goal. They had some opportunities. Like you could tell we were tired. But there were spurts of the game that we were better team, and like we pull out the 4-1 win. But yeah, I had an emotional speech before the game,
before the bronze medal
game. I asked the head coach. Usually he was the one talking, but I after my PK meeting, I said I asked the boys if they want, like if I could talk to them, and I did.
Oh, good.
And I spent it.
Can you share a little bit?
Yeah, I can. It was because my sons, they watch every minute. Well, my older son watch every minute. My younger, some of the times were challenging, but when we played against, I think against Finland, it was quarterfinal game. It was at 12 there and 4 a.m. here. So my older son, he set the alarm and watched every minute. Then we play against Sweden, and I don't know if I should tell this, but because I don't. Well, whatever. So this is the guy. We are moving to Czech mainly because of my older son. He wants to play 2 years in Czech so he can maybe one day represent Czech. That's the rules because he's got dual citizenship. That's by the rules. You have to spend 2 years in a country where you want to represent if you have a citizenship there also.
Right.
So we are moving there. So I told the boys, hey, like I don't know if you realize this, but you have a huge impact on my family, on my kids. And like if you know me, guys, there's nothing I love more than my kids. So I really appreciate that, and I want to thank you that you're. My son has a dream. He wants to be sitting where you at right now, and he's moving from Canada from his biological mom because I'm divorced, and he's leaving everything behind to pursue this dream, and you're contributing to his dream.
It's cool.
So I kept talking, and then I get to this. Like when they play against Sweden, I hope the coach is not listening. He wanted to finish the game, and it was the game was a little bit overlapping with his own game at the tournament.
Okay.
So he told his mom, like, "Can you call the coach? I'm going to be late." I don't know what excuse they made up. He finished the game. He obviously was crying after the game because he's very emotional. He wants us to win.
So badly, yeah.
Yeah. So he finished the game, watching the game, then came, I think, for like a second period or something, or a little bit later. He scored a goal, which rarely happens. He scored a goal, and they won the game.
Oh.
So he calls me after, and he's like, "Dad, can you please tell the guys that I scored a goal for them, and I wish I could be there in the locker room for them."
Isn't that great?
Oh my God. So I told the boys, the assistant of the coach had tears in his eyes. The boys were like kind of shocked, and they were like very emotional too. And I'm like, just again, guys, like, I want to thank you that you're, you have no idea how big of
the
impact you have on these young kids, that they are like pursuing their dreams. And like one of them is my son, and I'm like, guys, like so many of these kids, they won't even come close to these dreams. And I'm like, you're living the dream right now, but it's not over. There's like one more step to make to win the bronze medal. And I said, like, are you with me? And they're like, start like clapping and yelling, and like everybody get going. I don't want to say like it was the thing that got us the bronze medal, but I think it was one of the things that like everybody got emotional. Everybody like came together, and it was awesome. Like I had tears in my eyes.
That's a great story.
And after the win, we are sitting there, everybody's happy, and then the captain came to me and was like, "Hey, we have a surprise for you." I'm like, "Okay, like, am I gonna cry?" They're like, "Well, you might." So when we were on the bus, they brought me in the back, and was like, "Hey, can you call your sons on the FaceTime?" So I call my older one, answer the phone, and the captain was talking. He's like, "Hey, laddie, we have a surprise for you, and this is the extra medal that we won for you."
Oh.
So they gave me the medal, and now like I got one, and then laddie got one. So both of the boys got the medals.
Oh, great.
So I took a picture yesterday and sent it to the boys, and everybody loved it.
That's a great story.
Yeah, it was awesome. And
That's
like
a
I
great
get the
story.
support from the whole family throughout the tournament. The boys were on the FaceTime with the boys in the locker room, so they knew exactly what was going on.
Yeah.
And even I was doing interviews right after the bronze medal game, and the boys were waiting for me in the locker room. When I got there, they're like, "Call the kids." So I had to like on the FaceTime while I'm getting sprayed by the Gatorade. I'm like on the phone, and we are all jumping and screaming. It is a big deal for
Sure it is.
Czech. Like any medal at any time. Like this is the first medal from U18 in like 12 years, I want to say. So yeah, big deal. Too bad it wasn't the finals, but I'm not gonna make any excuses. Sweden deserved it. They were the better team at the end of the game. So but awesome
That's a
stories.
great
Yeah.
story.
Thanks.
We're going to talk more about the team, maybe players that we saw that are going to be drafted coming up and everything like that. So I wanted to kind of talk a little bit about the Oilers before we go to the break at 10 o'clock. And just, I mean, for you didn't see a lot of the games because you're busy over there and everything with the time difference, but you see a little bit. And I think you're probably like a lot of people, maybe a little surprised that the Ducks had their way with Edmonton like they did.
Yeah, I'm gonna be a man here, and I'm gonna apologize to Duke because I didn't believe in Ducks during the season. I didn't believe they can make a playoffs. They proved me wrong. Now they're playing really, really good. I think it starts with the coaching too.
Yeah.
Like he gave them confidence. He leads them the right way. He's well experienced, won Stanley Cup. So I think lots of that's got to do with Coach Quanwell and his staff. But they have just exciting young team, and I thought, well, it's a lot up and down hockey, more offense than defense, but you can tell they can outskate, outwork, outskill teams, and they showed it in a series with Edmonton.
Do you think the Oilers took them lightly? Like, I mean, just look at that first period, and the Oilers, that was their best period of the whole series in the first game.
Yeah, I don't want to say lightly. Like, I don't know if the Oilers had the confidence in themselves like they used to previous years.
Yeah.
That swagger, if you know what I mean.
For sure.
The season has been so up and down. Everybody doubting them. So that's the mental part, the physical part. Like I can just imagine.
Mhm.
I can't imagine like last 2 years being a finalist, not having the rest, not having the proper preparation. Like it's all these things add up to, all these small things add up to the bigger things. And unfortunately, I like I said before, I'm a little surprised that they lost in the first round, but not that. After seeing those games, some of those games, I'm not that surprised. Anaheim was clearly the better team in that series. But I think Edmonton lost all those guys that we talked about, Kane, Perry, Brown. Like these guys are big in the playoffs.
They lost everyone down the middle for the series too, right?
Yeah, and Connor was injured.
Connor, Leon, and Dickinson, and Henrique.
Yeah,
So like Szymanski was their only healthy center.
Yeah, that's tough.
I'm not making excuses.
No,
here,
but it is what it is. But like I think all these things, like going so far in previous years, it will add up, and then you have these injuries. So, like I said before, I was leaving. Maybe it's a good thing. Maybe it's a good thing. The season's over. They have the full summer recovery training. Lots has to change. Don't get me wrong.
We'll touch on those changes too. When I say about taking the Ducks lightly, the one other point I want to make to you is that I think they took the regular season lightly, and that resulted in them not being prepared enough for the postseason. And there was a comment that Connor McDavid made before the playoffs, Laddie, where he said, well, the regular season's getting monotonous for us. And that told me right there that to me,
that's
was
weird.
Like,
I wouldn't say, yeah.
That showed me, okay. And I've called them switch flickers the whole year, and they were saying, okay, regular season's over. Now we can just flick the switch.
It doesn't work like that.
And that's what I mean. You got to prepare and make the regular season a process to get your game to where it needs to be.
Oh, 100%. You have to have the mindset. Yeah. It's like practicing certain way and then thinking, oh, I'm just going to flip the switch and in the game it's going to be different. No, you have to practice like you play. It's a cliche. Same with the regular season and the playoff season, especially you should be ramping it up towards the playoffs, right? But that being said, nothing against the Oilers. I just don't think they were as strong of a team like the previous years.
Right.
Like offensive wise, they couldn't put up as many goals compared to what they were allowing. So because the defense hasn't been there really all season long, the goaltending questionable, team defense questionable, and all they had was the offense. But in the playoffs, different sport. It's different sport, and like it bit them in the butt a little bit, and maybe that's something to think about. You cannot just like who wins the championships? The best defensive teams.
Yeah.
Whoever's gonna
the buy-in to play hard
game
defensive, like the buy-in that Anaheim had last night.
Yeah, man, right? Like they surprised me, and I think they can beat the Vegas.
Sure
honestly, like
absolutely,
I think it's a wide open series. I think they can do it. But for the Oilers, lots has to change. I feel like they have to start buying into the team defense as well. It's not just offense, man. Like it won't win you any cups. Like that's clear now. That's clear. Yeah.
Around here, since you've been gone and you came back, and I don't know how much you paid attention to everything, but fans, media people calling for so much change that it's alarming. It's alarming. New GM, new coach, new staff, new players. Like
that was expected.
Okay, but how, when you make that much change, and if it's coming from the very top of the organization, which is the owner, and that's Daryl Cates, and then next in command is Jeff Jackson, then it's Stan, and then it's Chris Knobloch. Like where
do you begin,
or where do you stop? It's both.
Well, I don't know, but you only have a year and a half of Connor McDavid's deal. If it's not happening, you have to trade him. Like you have to, in my opinion. I don't know.
Without question,
I would hate seeing that because I think the fans would burn down the city. But okay, if you change everything, you're starting from zero. Like usually when that happens, you have to have a vision, and usually it takes 2-3 years. So do you want to risk that, changing everything, and then risking that it might not be happening for another
Yeah.
2 years, which Connor would be gone.
So I'm going to throw this one at you then. And I used this at the beginning of the show, Laddie. So Colorado lost in the first round last year. And to be honest, since they won, they haven't had any playoff success.
Yeah.
So last year, but they made a bunch of deals to bring in Brock Nelson,
Yeah.
and Coyle, and all these guys, right? And then they lose in the first round. But after they lost, they kind of said, whoa, let's take a good look at this.
Yeah. And they
signed Nelson, which
Yeah.
everyone said was a mistake.
And he had a great year.
He had a great year. And the guy they bring in was Brent Burns.
Brent Burns,
veteran.
They brought Kadri during the season.
I'm just talking about in the off season, right?
Like that's what I mean. Like you need stability,
Mhm.
and like the time is ticking with Connor. So like let's take a deep breath. I wouldn't do any major changes, to be honest. Like you need some like I mean in a management or role like that.
See, I see Chris Knobloch starting next year as the head coach. That's how I see.
Me
But
too.
a lot of people don't.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Like I said, like I would keep the GM, the president. I hope they have a plan,
Mhm.
but like blowing it all up, you're starting from zero. And like I said, what team has had success after blowing everything up? Like I don't remember any teams having instant success. Maybe you're gonna have few games here and there, but I just don't believe it. Like they need help on defense. Goaltending. It starts with goaltending there. You need help on defense. You need some bigger bodies up front and players that can buy into two-way game. Not just we all know who Leon is, Connor is, Nooch, Hyman. That's fine. But we need somebody that's gonna support them. We need depth. You're not gonna win Stanley Cup with 4 or 5 guys. It's impossible these days.
Well, and I've said it a million times here, Laddie, until and it starts with Connor and Leon. And because once they buy into this, everyone else is going to follow. Until the team plays with the commitment defensively and defending like they do with their imagination and creativity on offense, because it's as good as it gets. It's as good as we've ever seen.
Oh, it's the best.
Until that gets closer to where it matches that on offense, they'll never win.
I just saw a podcast. Was it? Who was on it? It was one of the TV announcers.
Mm-hmm. Was it like
Pierre?
on a
Was it
Chiclets or
Pierre?
something?
No. This is a podcast, and he was talking. What? Yeah, it might have been him, because he said that there was a game. There was a game when Edmonton was playing somebody. Todd McLennan was the coach.
Yeah.
And during the game, Pierre is between the benches, right? Yeah.
He can.
So Todd was like shaking his hat at him during the game, and this was yesterday that I watched. And he didn't understand at the time. He's like, did I offend him something, or like did something happen? So he waited, and he did it twice during the game, I guess. So Pierre went to him after the game. He's like, hey, did I do anything to offend you, or like did I say something? He's like, no, I was just shaking my head because he was frustrated knowing that the team is not. He's like, I never seen team who doesn't want to play defense more than this team.
Mm-hmm.
And Pierre said, well, 8 years later, or like how I don't know when was the last time Todd was here.
Yeah, well,
We-
that
but
was
we are-
that would have been the 2017 run, probably. that you're
Okay,
talking
so
about.
so even more, 9 years. He said,
And here
we
we
are,
are.
here we are, and it's the same issue.
Mhm.
So Todd McLennan knew it,
Oh,
that
very
that
good.
the lack of commitment from the team to defense.
Yeah.
And now we are still here, lack of commitment to defense. Not calling anybody out, but
It's
ma-
just-
it's
it's a buy-in,
It's
man.
a reoccurring.
Sure it
and
is.
like, don't get me wrong, they gave us some great memories. Those 2 runs all the way to the Stanley Cup Finals, and yeah, got really close, especially the first year. But still, you cannot just play the track meet game up and down. At times, you have to shut it down. You're not gonna be able to like always create offense. There's going to be some off nights, but you have to be able to play defense. The whole team needs to commit to defense. You need a goalie that's just going to shut it down, that's going to steal the game. But you don't have that right now, unfortunately. Sorry,
They've been chasing a goaltender for a long time.
Well,
a long time.
Well,
Jack Campbell was signed. Jack Campbell was signed to be the starter here for a long time.
No, that didn't happen.
Stu Skinner was signed to be the backup here for a long time, and still not. Where are we?
The cap is going up. The good goalies are not growing on trees.
Well,
like it's got to be like what? That should have been maybe a process of like maybe drafting a goalie and working with him. Like I don't know how you're gonna get a really good goalie here. Like you have to go through the trade. You know, a roster player. Like I don't know. Do we have any draft picks left?
None.
Well,
we talked about that earlier with the Carolina Hurricanes and how they've still assembled their team without draining everything. Carolina has more first-round draft picks in the next 3 years. I think it's not more. It's the same. The same amount of first-round draft picks in the next 3 years as the Oilers, Vegas, Colorado, and Dallas have combined.
Wow, that is impressive.
Yeah.
Who's the GM there?
Tulsky, Eric Tulsky.
Good for him.
Good for him.
That's that's pretty cool. And I believe Carolina could go into the finals this year.
Sure, they could.
It's wide open. Like
sure.
I didn't expect Tampa Bay being out in the first round.
So
it's wide
you
open.
don't have to worry about Tampa Bay or the defending two-time Stanley Cup
Florida
champion
is
Florida
out,
Panthers. Yeah.
and the way Carolina is playing.
Well, we'll see what. Like I mean, they're going to have their hands full tonight.
Oh yeah.
I mean, and just let's be honest. They barely won game number 2.
I think with Philly, it's gonna be lots about Vladar.
how
he can play.
Right. Yeah, you got that.
My
right.
countryman.
Your buddy.
My buddy.
We're gonna go to break here, and your buddy SKS has come in, and you missed the event of the century last Friday.
What was it?
Well, we had a little.
I thought it was some orgies guys or something.
Yeah,
don't get me.
Yeah,
don't get me going like that.
With SKS and Duke. Yeah,
Duke was like laughing.
That would be the last.
Oh,
thing.
we got it. Don't worry, we can cover your love life again today.
Yeah. Oh, hey, things are picking up. He's talking.
So it was an orgy.
Though, what happened was we had the Masters pool while you were gone, and whoever got finished last had to buy Szechuan Castle buffet for everyone.
Ooh, Szechuan Castle.
Yeah. So all you can eat Chinese food.
Yeah.
The Duke lost, so we all went Eddie Steele, Schlemmer, SKS, and we had
where is that place?
111th and.
Is he good?
Yeah, well, it's SKS's go-to. It's his trough.
Really?
He's a buffet hunter.
So it's a good buffet. Really? Because I went to Chinese buffet in Belleville, and let me tell you.
In Belleville.
In Belleville before the youth wedding when we had a year and a half ago. Oh, it was one of them was good. The other one was I don't know what kind of meat I was eating. Yeah, hopefully not. Yeah, I like good buffet.
Oh, well, yeah. So you should have seen him and Eddie put it back. Holy cow.
Really?
Well, Eddie Steele. And then Eddie had Pepto-Bismol for the rest of the day.
The rest of the week, probably.
Coming up at the top of the hour, I think we'll go in or out with Ladislav Schmid. It's been a while. We'll have to get back in the groove. But before that, time now for a Sports 1440 update. Brought to you by Fusion Promo Marketing. Expand your brand. High quality promotional products for businesses, sports teams, and corporate events. Get noticed at fusionpromomarketing.ca. That's Fusion with a Z. Here is the Duke.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Just one game in the Stanley Cup playoff tonight. Game 3 between the Hurricanes and Flyers. Series shifting to Philadelphia with the Canes toting a 2-0 lead in the best of 7. Puck drop just after 6 o'clock. In the PWHL playoffs, resuming action between Montreal and Minnesota, tied at 1 game apiece after Tuesday's marathon triple overtime affair. Puck drop just after 5 o'clock in Minneapolis. The association tonight, Pistons and Cavaliers go at it for game number 2. Detroit with a 1-0 series lead. Tip off at 5 from Motor City. And down in OKC, the Thunder with a 1-0 series lead, hosting the Los Angeles Lakers. That underway just after 7:30. In the majors today, a little bit of a lighter schedule. Several teams in at transit, but on the docket, Rangers and Yankees set to get underway here just after the top of the hour. And then later on, KC hosting Cleveland, Mets in Colorado, Cubbies up against the Reds, Baltimore playing Miami, Tampa in Boston, and the Padres host the Cardinals in the nightcap. In the CFL, Calgary Stampeders extending quarterback Vernon Adams Jr. on a 2-year deal. It'll keep the 33-year-old in Cowtown through the 2028 season. Coming up in hour 4 of the Kevin Karius Show, we'll check in with a new edition of In or Out. I'm Brandon Douglas at your Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440, Stingray Radio Station. CKJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. And stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Centre. Looking for the perfect place to host your next big event? From trade shows to galas, meetings, and concerts, the Edmonton Expo Centre has the space, event expertise, and service to make your next event unforgettable. With over 522,000 square feet of flexible event space, in-house catering, and operational expertise, they bring your biggest vision to life. Learn more at EdmontonExpoCenter.com today.
I'm good to go. With Mortgages to Go, you'll be good to go. MortgagesToGo.ca says yes when the banks say no. That's why Alberta has trusted Mortgages to Go for over 23 years. If you need cash and have equity in your home, you're approved instantly, guaranteed. Call 1-888-888-5998. That's 1-888-888-5998. With Mortgages to Go, you'll say, I'm good to go.
The longest running basketball show in Canada airs every Saturday morning at 10 on Sports 1440. Hoop City with Paul Sir introduces a new generation of basketball talk, and it's right here on Edmonton's home for sports, Sports 1440.
Canadian Tire's Big Spring Tire Sale is back. Save up to 25% on quality tire brands including Continental, Michelin, Motomaster, and Pirelli until May 21st. Conditions apply. Details online.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is your supplier of maximum comfort, bringing you the cool AC you need. You just have to
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
for comfort at night when the hot air suffocates you.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
For comfort in your wallet with no payments or interest for 1 year.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
You deserve comfort. Cool off today with AC from Legacy Heating and Cooling.
The Ford It's a Big Deal event is on now. Get a big deal on a 2026 F-150 STX with Black Appearance Package. Visit your Alberta Ford store today.
You're listening to Sports 1440 and watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Sports 24/7. We are Sports 1440.
Did a big program. 10:06 in Edmonton. The Norris Trophy finalists have been announced.
Bouchard?
Rasmus Dahlin.
Yeah.
Cale Makar and Zach Werenski. Those are your finalists. So, yes. No.
These three, Werenski.
Okay. Well, we discussed this a lot here. So that's your pick for Werenski?
So, what? Dahlin?
Dahlin, Makar.
I wouldn't take Makar this year.
I'm taking Dahlin.
I would say between Werenski and Dahlin. You know why I would take Werenski? And I know this is just NHL, but he was amazing at the Olympics. So
Okay,
that's
but
for
doesn't count.
It doesn't count. I know, but for me, I think Werenski had the strongest season, including international. Dahlin, with everything he went through, it would be a great story with his fiance. What happened and the season he's had. He has been so underrated on Buffalo. It's criminal.
Mm-hmm.
But same with Werenski, guys, because he plays in Columbus. He's not out there everywhere, but he had a huge
he
impact.
had a good year. I'll tell you again. So
But Bouchard, 95 points. I just looked at it yesterday. I was like, that's ridiculous.
So here's the thing, laddie. I mean, Evan Bouchard, everyone said he had a real tough start to the season.
That's the only thing that's kept him off Canada roster for Olympics, and that he's not finalist for.
And I wouldn't say the stats are the same. I'm not going to say they're similar, but they are comparable. Zach Werenski's last 10 games, very comparable to what Evan Bouchard's first 10 games were.
Yeah.
And this is when your team
needed
you
most
to make the playoffs.
So maybe it is Dahlin, if you put it this way, because Dahlin is one of the main factors. Let's be honest. That's
good. My vote, Dahlin, for one. And I always say again here, Laddie, and some people rip me for saying it's not comparable. They always say if you are up for the Hart Trophy, your team has to make the playoffs. So right now, the Ted Lindsay's the same.
Yeah.
So the Ted Lindsay, you know who they were? Okay, so it's McDavid, Kucherov, and Celebrini.
And they're all out of the playoffs.
No.
Oh,
But Celebrini and the Sharks didn't make the playoffs.
Yeah, they didn't make a playoffs.
Okay, so that's voted by the players, the Ted Lindsay. So when the Hart comes out, that's voted not by the players.
Oh, yeah, by the press, right?
Yeah, media. So anyway, again, will Celebrini be part of those three, or do you bring in McKinnon? Because Celebrini and the Sharks didn't make the playoffs. Now, my argument here again, Werenski didn't make the playoffs. Why should that be different than the Hart? I know it's most valuable to the team. This is best defenseman. I understand all that. That's why I'm going Dahlin.
Yeah. Still go Werenski. I don't know. But I put that Olympics in it, I guess, too. I would be okay with either choice.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't give it to Makar this year. I wouldn't.
He might get a lot of votes here, you know.
I know. I just don't think so. Like, I think Dahlin would be a great story. From his fiance, Buffalo, making it after so many years, ancient.
So I don't think we'll find out until it's announced. Maybe I'm wrong, but we'll see exactly where votes 4 and 5, like, where Bouchard was. Was he at 4 or 5? Where was he?
Well, he should be pretty high. Like, for me, he should have been in top 3.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I have been hard on him.
Yeah.
I not always like his game, but this year after that rough start, and like, I don't know why we keep talking about the rough start. Like, everybody's got a rough patch. Beginning of the season, in the middle of the season. The most important thing for me is he climbed out of that, and he was as dominant as I've seen it. Probably the most dominant defenseman especially offensively, but he wasn't that bad even defensively. This year, I didn't see. Yeah, people now have him like in their heads. Whenever he makes a mistake, like, they will go after him because his second efforts are not the best.
Look at the Cale Makar. Did you see Makar's mistake the other night?
Oh yeah, he
on the first
vacated the middle, and he owned up to it. He went to the goalie. He's like,
me. But if Bouchard did that too,
it would be. Yeah. It was just a bad read, but it shows everybody's human. I was watching it, and I told my son, it's like, look, he owned up to it right away. He knew he made a mistake. It was like, even Cale Makar makes a mistake, so it's okay. It's how you react. That's the best players. They react the best way. They park it. They don't worry about it. They go out there and they're as dominant as ever, usually. That's why they're the best players, and you can count on them.
Time now for Are You In or Out? Brought to you by
Already.
Pro Solutions. Yeah, already, man. We've been flying here, laddie. And we got a sponsor for In or Out now. Did you know that?
Who?
Pro Solutions.
What?
If you need fast air condition service, Pro Solutions. They're your guys.
Okay.
They got expert repairs, tune-ups, installs, flexible financing. Book your appointment now at prosolutionsinc.ca.
Okay, you know what? Moving too fast. Bottom line, are you in or are you out?
In or out of what?
No time for questions, just action. In or out?
Well, then I'm out.
I'm sorry, Jet. Actually, you're already in.
Are you in or are you out?
On Sports 1440.
I thought you would go, I'm in, Bob. We would have had a really cool moment, but you kind of ruined the whole thing.
All right, Duke. Letterbuck.
Oilers off-season rolling along. Lots of discussion about what the team is going to do changes-wise to the roster. What will the defense look like come October? Is Connor Murphy back? Do you find a way to move on from Darnell Nurse? Should he be willing to waive his no-movement clause? But something not being discussed much that I think is worth venturing into. The team, I don't think, can go into next season with an unquestioned expectation, absolute in its sense, that Matthias Ekholm is still capable of logging top pairing minutes all season long.
Well, I'm going to let you handle this first. I mean, he's going to the Olympics with Sweden too. Did you hear
World
that?
Championships.
Yeah,
World Championship.
World Championships. I don't know what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
because he wants to have a chance to probably represent Sweden at the World Cup of hockey.
Okay.
You have to be going to these events if you want to have a chance. What can I say, guys? If healthy, Matthias Ekholm, he's 100% can log up the minutes. But last couple of years, that's been the issue. So for me, it's more about his health than about ability to play. If he's healthy, no questions. Even at this age, I think he can do it. He can play 21, 22 minutes, 23 even at times against top lines. But it would be nice to get him some help, to take that pressure or some of the minutes off, so you have healthy Matthias Ekholm for the entire season and playoffs. So I think it's fair but there's more things playing into this. I feel like it's hard.
He was under 20 minutes a night in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I think that's a number
that's fine.
That's a
if
number
he's
he
like
can
18,
handle. 19,
I think he can do even more. But yeah, I guess why? I still think he can do it, to be honest.
Yeah,
I think it's gonna be good. He's gonna have a full summer of training, rehab, and all that stuff. Take care of everything. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like he can do it. I wouldn't. There is bigger questions on the defense than him.
I think he can handle still, and I think it's still a fine fit there.
Yeah.
And if they ever decide that someone else has an opportunity to play with Bouchard, well, then
you can make a switch.
That's fine too.
As you go.
So,
and I think Bouchard is going to be getting better and better too.
Mm-hmm.
So that might help Ekholm as well. Like, I think Bouchard he's not going to be the greatest defenseman defensively ever, I don't think, but I think he's going to get better and better defensively too, and it's going to make a big difference.
and again, like virtually no power play time.
Yeah.
Virtually none.
I wouldn't give him power play time, anymore.
Well, he's always
I know
comes out
he's
for the last 15 seconds.
Yeah,
with Wall, right?
let's be honest. The second PP unit doesn't get
So
much.
maybe that whatever happens to the power play moving forward happens, but I still think he can handle this. For next year.
19-20, I think he can handle it.
But we know that, yes, Bouchard eats up quite a few minutes extra on the power play, but if he's going to be a 25-minute a night guy and your partner is only and keep in mind Ekholm plays plenty on the penalty kill still as well, so that it's not like you're sharing any. Well, I and I'm not trying to totally throw him in the bin as yesterday's lunch or anything, but I just thought watching the first round against Anaheim in particular, and a lot of the season, very frankly, I was under the impression that this guy was fighting another nagging injury, and whether it's still just coming back from the groin issue that plagued him in the playoffs last year, but he's healthy enough to go to the World Championships and play for Sweden, which if he was hurt, I don't think that would be the case. I like the foot speed is becoming a pretty big concern for me to be playing against the opponent's best players every night. The league's only getting faster seemingly year after year. It's not. I just, if the Oilers want to be a cup contending team again next year, which all impressions is that they absolutely do. You still have Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. You're not throwing the baby out with the bathwater. Is there an opportunity to change that up and have somebody else play alongside Bouchard that can maybe keep up a little bit more at this time?
Right now.
And he's still used as your bona fide defensive defenseman when necessary.
I don't see anybody else there.
Maybe we'll see if Darnell Nurse and Evan Bouchard can ignite some chemistry alongside each other on Team Canada.
No, I don't see it either. That's.
How do you think that Nurse and Bouchard are going to do at the Worlds?
Oh, I hope good.
Do you think they'll play together to start? Why wouldn't they?
I wouldn't play them together.
I would.
I wouldn't.
Yeah.
You would?
Yeah. I mean, they've played together before, and there's
there's might be chemistry, but it clearly didn't work.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they would be playing together. But yeah, well, like you can try it, but like it depends. Is Darnell gonna be more the defensive guy, or is he gonna be trying to do something that's not in his game, really? You know, like when you're playing with Bouchard, like Ekholm still gets some points, but he knows just exactly when to do it.
Yeah, and like
that's very important.
I don't know. Maybe it's just a better representation of the team in general with everything we've talked about. They didn't take the regular season seemingly serious enough all year and the ups and downs, and they only won 3 games in a row twice. But I didn't think Matthias Ekholm had a very strong season on aggregate. He had good stretches, as the team did, but on aggregate, I just didn't think he had a very good year. And then in the playoffs, he was really a non-factor. Maybe a negative, because him and Bouchard were not very good.
No, like
in a 6-game loss.
I agree. But I think like with all these injuries and like getting into the lineup, out of the lineup, just like really forcing it, like it takes a toll on your body, on your mind.
For sure.
So I'm a little surprised he's going to World Championships. I would think he would want to get 100% healthy and all that stuff, but I understand why he's going. There's a World Cup of hockey. And all these European teams, most of them have a rule that if you're available, you should be going to this big events prior to that, so they can test you out, even though you're Matthias Ekholm, and like why you need to be tested. But especially with Sweden, they have so many good defensemen, so you're fighting for
I don't see him on the. I don't see him.
It's not a year and a half. He's going to be what, 37, 38?
Yeah.
I don't see him on the.
I think like the inclination about him not being on the Olympic team was him and the head coach. Yeah. That was the top of the program, not see eye to eye, and they have a past in history. But I just think, like, you look at the Swedes decor,
it's one of the best.
It's very good top to bottom, and it's seemingly only getting better. There's guys, new guys every year, right? That continue to emerge. So time will tell. I certainly think he will be there and the top pairing to start the season. But by the end of it, have they found an alternative solution that maybe fits the team better? We will see.
I just don't see any other guys,
other options, and they're in a tough spot. They're in a tough spot.
Very.
Around the rest of the NHL, playoffs rolling on. The Sabres open up a 1-0 series lead over the Habs last night in Buffalo. Montreal's top line, just 1 even strength goal so far in these playoffs. Nick Suzuki, 1 even strength goal, 1 even strength assist. Slavkovsky and Caulfield, purely power play points for them so far. Of the 3, watching every game Montreal has played, I think it is Cole Caulfield that most needs to step up their game for the Habs to get back in this series and move on in the Eastern Conference.
I think there's a lot of finger pointing at all 3 of these guys here. You take away that hat trick that
Slavkovsky,
all
take
3
away
power
that
play
trick,
goals.
Then that gives him basically 1 assist. They're all like -4, -5, -5.
And they're still yet they're still in it, kind of thing. Wow. It wasn't like a blowout. They beat Tampa Bay. They had a tough assignment against Tampa, right? But I don't think it's just Caulfield. We'll see how he is built for a playoffs. I don't want to come off the wrong way.
I think
he's not the biggest guy. But some guys are more suited for regular season. I hope that's not the case with him.
I think as a team, Laddie, we're waiting for our 50-goal guy to come out here.
But is he the guy in the playoffs that's going to come out?
Well, that's what people are waiting for. So
exactly.
That's why
and he's gonna show us. But I don't think it's just fair to point fingers. Slavkovsky is a big guy. He should be a power forward. He should be going. I don't think it's just Caulfield. It's all of them together. Yeah. Suzuki on Team Canada at the Olympics, biggest games. He should be stepping it up too. No, like I think the whole line.
As I said, there's a lot of finger pointing here.
I wouldn't say just Caulfield.
The question too is, of the 3, it's Cole Caulfield that most needs. So I'm going to go in out of the 3 as the question exists. So
and a lot of, for me, Kevin, you guys outlined it. Like Slavkovsky, he can touch the game in other ways. Power forward, he gets in physical on the forecheck. Like Caulfield, he is an offensive dynamo. He's 50 goal scorer. He needs to score goals. That's what he is tasked with doing.
That's the only thing you can expect from him.
Suzuki
really.
still 56% in the face-off dot. So he's taking care of business there. We know that he faces most of the toughest matchups now. Like Phil Deneau is still capable, but more so in a secondary role as your shutdown center. Suzuki's a Selke Trophy finalist. He can also touch the game in other ways.
Yeah.
Caulfield needs to score goals, and he needs to do it at 5-on-5 here, or else I don't think the Habs have much of a chance.
Yeah,
in this series.
I guess so, but I would expect way more. Like you said, Suzuki, that guy bothers me probably the least.
Yeah,
but Slavkovsky and Caulfield, they need to step it up, both of them. And yeah, if you put it that way, just purely with goals, I guess I'm in.
Other game last night was the Ducks evening their series with the Vegas Golden Knights, now tied at 1, heading back to Anaheim. After 2 games, the Ducks have given up just 4 goals, one of which was into the empty net, one of which was with 5 seconds left on the power play in a game they were leading 3-0. Anaheim's momentum as a West contender has only grown since dispatching the Oilers.
Yes, I'm going to be 100% in on this one. And also, Duke, just to pony off that shutout that was broken up with 5-6 seconds left.
How long it's been since the Ducks have had a shutout?
It's been a long time, hasn't it?
It was since, I think, the season opener of last season.
So, no, where I was going is, like, what if one of the drafts that we're in and the goalie gets a shutout and someone loses by a point?
Oh,
and
that
someone
could be very consequential.
Yes.
Yeah, shutouts are worth extra points in the fantasy pools.
So, no, I'm in. I mean, these guys are getting better and better. I mean, that game last night blew me away. And again, it's how they play, so connected with the puck and without it. And they're forcing the right guy at the right time. And it's not just the guy that's forcing the opposition player who has the puck. It's the second guy, wherever, if that's your F2, and he's going to where the opponent has no other choice but to put that puck in that area. And it's either a broken up pass or it's a turnover. They are playing really good hockey right now. They scare me.
I'm in.
Yeah,
I'm in.
scare me.
And they play together. They're very active, high on the forecheck. Yeah. And when you do that, you don't have to worry about the opposition creating chances because you're always on their side of the rink, right? So it is physically demanding because you skate a lot, but you also spend a lot of time with the puck. So that's the reward. And you don't feel as tired if you're playing with the puck.
Absolutely.
So I'm in. I think they can totally beat Vegas. We'll see how Vegas gonna respond. Still, they have a lot of experienced guys, but yeah, their style of hockey is kind of slower this year, a lot slower. So Ducks, they have the energy, they have that belief, good coaching staff, everything playing in their cards. I still believe if they beat Vegas and Colorado advances, or even Minnesota, I feel those are the guys you have to beat. Yeah, it might be too much, but right now Ducks are surpassing all my expectations. Like, good for them.
172 total games since the Ducks last had a shutout. Season opener of the 2024-25 season.
Wow.
Last playoff shutout, Frederick Anderson in 2016, the first round of that year. So
Ross Johnston.
Difference maker. Ross Johnston, difference
Takes
maker.
a penalty.
Just one game tonight with the Hurricanes up 2-0 on the Flyers. That series shifting to Philadelphia. Should be a wild crowd tonight at the Xfinity Center on Broad Street. They say you're not in trouble until you lose on home ice, and the Flyers kept it as close as possible in their Game 2 loss. It came in overtime. But listen, I think the Flyers, they've been a great story. You have to appreciate what they've accomplished regular season and beating the Penguins in round 1. I didn't have them picked. But listen, their chance to win this series down 2-0 right now. I'm coming in at less than 10% of their chances here.
10, eh?
It's hard to put a percentage on this.
Well, if they lose tonight, laddie, it'll be less than 10.
1%.
I thought the easier way to put at it, maybe, laddie, is like if they were to play this series out from down 2 games, down 2-0 at home now tonight, played over in simulation 10 times, they might win the series once.
Yeah. I told you, I believe Carolina is going to the finals.
Yeah.
So, I'm in. I don't think Philly is climbing. Yeah, they might win today, or I just don't believe. I don't believe they're going to win both games at home. Carolina is just rolling. I feel like it was a lot tighter game in the game 2, but still Carolina pulled it off.
Yeah.
And that's that might suck the energy out of the Phillies locker room. And don't get me wrong, the crowd's gonna be crazy, in Philly. It makes a bit of a difference, but I think Carolina is learning from their past mistakes. I think that they've grown again as a team, and I just believe they're gonna go all the way to the finals this year.
And here's the thing. I mean, they're doing it with. I think most people never thought that Freddie Anderson would be the goalie to start the playoffs.
Well, after the regular season, no,
absolutely not.
But
so you know what's going to happen here, laddie? The Carolina is going to go and win the Stanley Cup, and then you know what? Every Oiler fan's going to say,
"Get Freddie Anderson.
We'll sign Freddie. Be 30. They're going to sign him for a 3-year contract."
I don't believe they're going to win the Stanley Cup, though.
Well, they get to the final. And
anything can happen. Yeah, anything can happen. That's true. But yeah, and I'm in.
I'm with you, laddie. The Hurricanes. I'm kicking myself in hindsight because this is a team like for so many years consecutive I've picked to win the East and maybe even win the Cup a couple times. They've come short in the conference finals. This year, I sway away saying maybe they just can't do it. I had them losing the conference finals to Tampa Bay, who, as we know, is already out of the picture, as is Dallas, who was my other Stanley Cup final pick and Cup winner. Shows how much I know, which is a whole lot of nothing. I'm a big believer in this Canes team, always have been. And the fact Anderson has bounced back the way he has in these playoffs is an encouraging sign. He's been a good goalie for a long time for a few different teams, and he's showing it so far this postseason. May is National Barbecue Month, especially with the nice weather we're expected to have here over the next little bit. Chance to fire up the grill, get some meat sizzling on there, some vegetables, kebabs maybe, whatever your choice. Coming to steak. You're grilling it up out on the queue. The best cooked steaks do not need any barbecue sauce.
This is a guy that I bet he has a whole jug of that Kraft barbecue sauce in there.
No.
I mean,
I don't know. I like a little barbecue sauce.
I think it's fine. You can have especially a little bit, but if it's the best of the best, you don't need
never ever.
I just went to the steakhouse, in Bratislava. Had one of the best steaks ever. I agree. Shouldn't need barbecue sauce.
Okay.
It was no barbecue sauce. I just got like a peppercorn sauce on the side, and that's all I needed. And I didn't even dip it in it because the steak.
If the steak is the star of the show, you don't need anything else.
It's a salt and pepper, and that's it.
Yeah, that's
salt
all.
and pepper. And like honestly, it was some South American meat. It was so good. But Alberta meat is great. I just put the barbecue sauce on. Most of the time because of the kids, they like it.
That's like Duke. That's why he likes it.
Yeah, but you're right. If you're gonna go to the best steakhouses, they don't put any. It's just a salt and pepper.
That's it. And a good sear and cook it medium rare. How do you? Is that
medium? I'm more medium guy, but medium rare, I'm okay with that too. Yeah. My wife is like medium well.
Medium well. You know what Duke is, eh? You know, it's like the movie. That movie, Cowboy Way. Knock the horns off, wipe its ass, put it on the plate.
No, I like medium rare. Medium rare. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Nice and bloody.
Oh, steak.
There'd be nothing better this afternoon.
A lot of. And
I don't have I don't have a barbecue yet. I need to go.
Duke doesn't have a barbecue yet.
He makes.
Maybe we should get him a little hibachi.
What do you spend your money on?
Nothing.
He's probably loaded.
I don't have
all his dating.
No, I bought my
women.
So I
bought my golf membership last week. That was
where?
Panoka.
Panoka?
It's like 2 hours away.
It is not 2 hours away.
It's an hour. It's an hour.
It's an hour. It is an hour.
It's not an hour.
Yeah,
it's like hour 15, hour 20 on a good day.
I tell you, when I plug it into Google Maps, I think it's an hour 6 minutes.
Yeah, whatever.
Why would you buy?
And it's
because his buddies are out there.
Well, it's halfway between.
So you gotta
here in Delburne.
You gotta be hour 10. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, from here.
It's halfway between here and Delburne.
Probably hour 45 minutes.
Well, I don't know if you know, laddie, the QE2 has a stretch now for all of like 5 miles that the speed limit's increased to 120.
Wow, guys, I'm so proud of you.
It is the dumbest.
I was just on the highway in Czech and I was going 180 the entire time. On my dad's old car.
I was gonna say, did you have a rental or no?
No, my dad's, and it's a little piece of crap.
What is it?
It's like a Skoda. It's a Czech brand. Guys, you would laugh seeing me in that little car. It's like when it was going 180, it was shaking so bad. Everybody drives like that. 120. Wow.
And I'm
That's a big.
I'm telling
you're
you,
taking
Laddie,
the diapers off,
it
hey
is
guys.
for
now.
it is for
It's only
5 minutes of driving. There, where then you hit a construction zone, it's down to 80.
Like we are 130 in Czech, and there is some stretches 150.
And those are like the posted limits, or just
yeah,
everyone
they're
just drives
posted
how
limits.
fast
You
want?
have to drive by it. Germany, like honestly, unlimited unless there is some restriction.
Yeah.
But like guys, like Canada is so big, like 130 is totally reasonable. Would be.
Kyle says it's a 22-kilometer stretch, Duke.
No, that might be a
So
stretch.
it's what, like 7 minutes, 8 minutes?
Yeah.
Not even. Well,
Yeah,
it depends how
To-
fast.
completely pointless.
Yeah,
Completely pointless.
Yeah, but I get few speeding tickets past year up until now, and insurance cancel my insurance cancel my car insurance.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Tom from Camrose says, "Hey Duke, stop in at Camrose. I'll give you a really good barbecue." So he's going to give you a barbecue.
Wow.
Because
you're a cheap prick.
I'm not
He's gotta
cheap.
give you.
I'm not cheap. I just haven't
But
got
then
one
you
yet.
think he can cook all these fancy dinners for the ladies.
You are cheap. You get probably a cheap membership at Pinoca.
I bought
Now
everybody.
you're-
I bought everybody supper lunch last week.
Now you might want to make a sad case for yourself. Oh, I don't have a barbecue.
no-
so now
at no
people
point-
are offering barbecue.
At no point did I ask to someone to give me a barbecue.
Probably
I
a
just said
little hibachi.
I just said I haven't got one yet.
So, like, what do you spend on the money on? Like, being a member at perfectmatch.com?
It's expensive. Tinder Pro.
Tinder
Tinder Pro.
Is there such a thing as Tinder Pro?
There is a paid version of it. I don't know what it
What is
gives
that?
you. Maybe you
It
can-
delivers the girl to your house
you
or what?
can-
Jesus
I
Christ.
really don't have that. It's not really my scene, but
Maybe-
a buddy of mine did actually. Shout out Bryce. He's married now.
Oh, did he meet his wife on Tinder?
I think he might have actually.
Oh,
Duke's
Tinder
best
girl.
buddy Atticus says, "I'm sure there's plenty of barbecues laying in that field in that dump Delburne."
Who's this guy?
He hates Delburne.
Why?
I don't know.
Tom says it's
He's
a
never
full,
even been there.
It's full size because he went natural gas. Duke, all you got to do is stop in Camrose at Tom's place.
Wow.
Man,
Thanks, Tom.
Seriously.
Like, come on.
Tom, I feel like I've been bullied into now I have to go and
buy
one.
And then you
But
got to
I
cook
don't-
some
I don't-
burgers for us.
I don't need a very big one because my deck is small and it's like, what do I need a giant barbecue for? Just something simple.
We totally miss him crying about paying for a dinner for you guys. So don't.
Where was I crying?
Don't participate.
I'm saying
it was
you're
about-
calling me cheap.
Cost him about $150, $25 a buffet.
Plus tip.
Plus tip.
Oh my God, it's cheap.
It was cheaper than I thought it was going to be, and it was good.
So, like, do you
I
spend all your money on dinner dates?
Sure.
Do you pay for the date? Like, if you take a girl on the date,
course.
do you pay for dinner?
Of course.
That's a gentleman right there.
Really?
Really?
He probably half.
Yeah,
and
but
half.
it's not buying it.
I like slide in the middle, like, yeah. So you want to split? No.
He's like Costanza. Well, you had the coffee and the pie, so $5 is enough to.
You said that things are picking up with Duke.
Well,
on the date.
well, now that he's got the barbecue, now he can cook a nice dinner for her.
So there's nothing going on.
Hamburgers.
It's a nice weather now.
Very nice.
So
Got to
you
get out
have
there.
something going on?
Should get out there.
So nothing going on?
Working the scene. I'm always got something going on.
He's playing slow pitch now, so it's co-ed.
Oh, it is.
I think all the girls on our team are the wives of other players.
There's got to be some single girls.
Maybe on the other teams.
The wives got single friends.
That's kind of what I'm hoping, Kev.
So you're
Maybe
trying to slide on the base.
I can endear myself to my friends' wives, and they're like, you know what? I have a friend that would be great for you.
Did anybody said that?
Well, it's just one game.
Well, get in there.
Yeah, I got.
Are any of those people listening to us right now?
The wives probably not.
No, the boys though.
Oh yeah,
they can spread the word.
I hope. Well, I kind of thought they would have
Plant
been
the
already
seed.
at some point. I'm the only single guy in this because it's a lot of the same guys I play beer league hockey with. So I've been playing hockey with them for several years. They know I'm the only single guy on the team. I would have thought they'd be trying to help me out a little bit up to this point, but I guess they're not very interested. They're too busy, with their own lives and their kids and stuff like that.
But maybe they're thinking that it's by choice. They don't know it's not by choice.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah,
you would just tell them you're looking for a wife
voluntarily.
And I don't want to, assume, but is it by choice
that I'm single?
Yeah,
it's a prearranged marriage.
Yeah, yeah.
Delburne.
I've got a Yeah, I've got something waiting for me back at the homestead. Hutterite's daughter or something.
Oh, man.
They're always looking for fresh blood.
Oh,
Jesus.
terrible. Hey, that was In or Out brought to you by Pro Solutions. Check them out, prosolutionsinc.ca.
Oh, man.
Hey, and your buddy Tom here is saying he's also got 2 camping sites you can choose from as well. Duke, this guy's got about 10 barbecues.
Does he have girls too? And he can donate.
Tom, yeah.
Tom, come through for us.
Chain one to the barbecue and then send it down the way.
I honestly gonna ask my wife, seriously, like if you're, I don't know. Kim, think about it. A girl for Duke.
Wow. Hey, do you know it's Eddie Steele's 10th anniversary today?
Really?
Yeah, he sent a picture out and he said that he outkicked his coverage. That's a common term for football guys when they get married or are dating a really beautiful, attractive woman. So Eddie says that I outkicked my coverage with his wife.
Congrats, Eddie.
Yeah, 10 years.
10 years flew by like nothing, eh?
Probably feels like
Time flies. Time flies. When you
Yeah,
have
but
fun.
for her, it feels like about 30 years.
Wow. I disagree with that, Eddie. If you're listening, Kevin is all over you. All over.
Kyle says, listen to Laddie. I used to see him at the Iron Horse back in the day.
Oh, good old days, Iron Horse. Oh, a lot of good memories.
Yeah, if you can remember.
Wrapped in my own beer. Ah,
When we come back, we'll wrap up the show. Maybe get Laddie's thoughts on maybe tonight's game, Carolina, Philadelphia, maybe the rest of the Stanley Cup playoffs, maybe the Oilers. Little of this, little of that. Kevin Karius, Ladislav Schmid, Duke of Delburne, and Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440 AM radio. We're streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch.
Mr. Rooter gets attacked by a Canada goose.
Oh, look at that. Another on-time arrival. Nothing stops Mr. Rooter from plumbing on schedule. You gotta be kidding me. Hello, Mr. Goose. I'm Mr. Rooter. Okay, this is what you train for. Through rain, sleet, or goose, the pipes get fixed.
For a plumber who does whatever it takes, Mr. Rooter.
Got a car you're ready to part with? Find out what it's worth. Fast, easy, and totally free at Go Auto. We're talking top dollar trade-ins, whether it's a little worn or still rocking that new car smell. Just a few clicks, and boom, you've got your value. Text value to 780-777-7777 to start. That's value to 780 all sevens. Why guess what it's worth? Let Go Auto show you the money.
Hey there, I'm in the Fountain Tire sidecar, making a list of the things I'm doing this spring. 1. Saving you money, with up to 20% off select tires until June 13th. 2. Water skiing, tricky in a sidecar, but fun. And 3. Saving you more money, with mail-in rebates of up to $100 off a set of 4 select tires and $50 off a $150 service with the purchase of 4 select tires. Oh, that's 4 things. Oh well, restrictions apply. Book online at fountaintire.com. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
McValue breakfast meals are $5 plus tax every day. Get a sausage McMuffin, bagel with cream cheese product, or breakfast burrito with hash brown and small coffee, all for just $5. Plus taxes. Available until 11 a.m. at Canadian restaurants. Product availability varies. Prices exclude delivery.
Don't miss a moment of Blue Jays baseball this season. Join play-by-play announcer Ben Showman for the games live on Sports 1440. The Toronto Blue Jays are on Edmonton's home for all things sports. Sports 1440.
O'Hanlon Paving is looking for finished skid steer operators, finished grader operators, Class 1 drivers, and more to join their Edmonton road crew team. Bring your positive attitude and great work ethic to their job fair, Friday, May 8th from 10 till 3. Visit o'hanlonpaving.com/careers.
My, this sushi is just exquisite.
And I am obsessed with these crab legs.
You must have spent the whole day in the kitchen preparing this feast for us. Or did I?
Entertain with unbelievable ease. The secret is catch of the week.
So you're telling me you were able to buy a ready-to-serve platter that is this fresh?
Catch of the week, Edmonton's best seafood. Just off the Henday and Capilano, only 5 minutes from Sherwood Park. Details and directions online at catchoftheweekedmonton.com.
Your favorite teams, your favorite sports. This spring, get all the action at Selly Sports Bar and Lounge. Never a bad seat in the house. Plus, the perfect playoff menu with something for every sports fan. including daily food and drink features. From great goals to thrilling three-pointers to huge home runs, spring brings the best to the big screens at Sully's Sports Bar and Lounge at all 3 Century Casino locations, Edmonton, St. Albert, and Century Mile.
Every day is game day at Century Casino.
I'm Dr. Vance Elliott. The goal of every one of the thousands of hair restoration procedures I've performed is a full, natural-looking head of hair. I work directly with my patients for the consultation, the procedure, and the follow-up, so we can achieve the best results possible. When people see what we accomplish, I don't want them to think,
Wow, great hair transplant.
I want them to think,
Wow, great hair.
go to drvanceelliott.com and contact us today.
Have your sports curiosity cured with the Kevin Karius Show. This is Sports 1440.
A big program, 1044 in Edmonton. Hey, that one's out for Pat in the park because I think Duke kind of figured this out too, an old buddy. In honor of Triumph in town tonight, Pat wrote in a while back, Fight the Good Fight with Frank. Because Frank and I were, but that's a different song. I like this song by Triumph too, the one you just played. Somebody's out there somewhere. Text 833-401-1440. A lot of people welcoming Laddie back.
Thank you. Everyone.
You still hadn't asked him Matt and Leduc's question.
Oh, yeah, I better get to that one. I'll get to that one in a second. Jeffries goes, I actually moved Laddie and his ex-wife into their home on West Edmonton, in the West Edmonton quite a few years ago while I was working for Highland Moving. One of the side barn doors of the trailer actually fell off during that move, almost chopped my partner's foot off.
Sorry, man. You got to be more careful.
Well, what? He must have had what were you, like the Keith Hernandez marble table or what?
I have no idea. I don't even remember that move. I wasn't participating much, I don't think.
Yeah.
All my ex.
Matt in Leduc. Is Laddie in town to interview for the Oilers head coaching job?
Sure. Oh, no. I actually had a cool opportunity, possibly coaching the men's national team as an assistant.
Ooh.
I had to turn it down.
For the Worlds? Or
after this Worlds,
okay.
I would be, because that coaching staff is, they're done.
Yeah.
They're moving on to the gig with top league in Czech.
So because of your commitment to Sparta Prague, you couldn't do it?
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. I don't want to be doing two things together. And honestly, I don't really have experience in that field with men's. Like I still want to do Sparta.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of learn working with adults, all that stuff. And then if the opportunity presents itself again, like I wouldn't be opposed to it. But right now, it would be too much. But I did get the phone call for that.
Do they have? Is it a different setup where, like, say, maybe I'm thinking more World Juniors? What should happen here, where they have, so like for a 3-year cycle? Is that how they do it for the national team? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. Usually you sign like 2 or 3 year deal. We used to have the 3-year cycle, but they kind of went away from it.
Yeah.
Now they're trying to bring it back.
Mm-hmm.
But now, like, there is 2 new coaches. They're still looking for a D coach. But yeah, I already said no, which like, I was kind of going back and forth. But like, I just want to focus on the one thing. And NHL for me is very far.
That's down the road. And remember I told you on this show 2 years ago. I still think that Laddie Schmid is going to coach in the NHL.
Thanks, man.
Down the road.
It's my goal, man. Like, I'm not gonna lie. You have to live your dreams, and like it's like the NHL is the best league in the world.
Yeah.
And I believe I could get there someday, but it's a long road, and you have to learn. You have to get out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
You want to work with good people. You want to learn from them, and just take it step by step. I don't want to skip any steps.
Nick says, Laddie, great player, first class on the ice. This is from the Shoresy game. My buddy Nick was the referee. Sent a picture.
Oh,
Nick Nicholas.
yeah.
I played junior with Nick years ago.
He was telling me.
Yeah, Nicker. Yeah.
Yeah, he said you were
a funny guy.
Yep.
He was a funny
He's
guy.
trying to tell
Still
me
is.
some stories.
Oh yeah. Well, we had a lot of fun.
Yeah, I've heard.
Yeah,
I can imagine.
We had some pictures once, and I says, Nick, you better get rid of those pictures right now. This is
Compromising?
Oh yes, compromise everything. But the pictures were from 40 years ago. So I said,
Is it black and white pictures?
Yes and no.
Yeah.
When Nicker's listening, I know he's laughing his arse off right now too. So
that's cool.
What did it say here? Laddie, I didn't participate much. He showed up for maybe 10 minutes and he was gone. That was the guy that broke his foot or something, chopped his partner's foot off.
Oh.
But tons of texts. And how about this one I get personally? Personally from Joanne, my hairstylist.
Oh.
Her dad's name is Harvey.
Yeah.
She says, Harvey would love for me to date a nice farmer. She says, too bad the Duke isn't way older.
How old is she?
I think I think you could handle this, Duke.
Well, how old is she?
I'm not going to say her age on the air. She's getting
fair.
mad at me. I'm going in for a haircut one of these days.
Oh yeah, you don't want to get butchered.
Well, she'll just pound it out. And just,
Is it a big difference? Like a huge difference?
I don't think so, especially a farmer.
Are you
No.
chopping him down?
No, because like Duke's way mature beyond his years.
Duke,
Plus,
you're 30?
He's 31.
31 now.
31.
Best days ahead of me.
So,
or are you going for the
your,
looks?
Okay, what's the oldest woman you would date?
It's a good question. I'm not really sure. Date as in like a long term.
Just to start, let's just worry about the first date.
Well, but what's the point of starting if you don't?
Well, you got to start somewhere.
My mom told me, just watch out. Women age much faster than males.
Mm-hmm.
So it might be cool for a while. But
I would
if
probably
it's
date somebody that's 40, early 40s.
So 10 years?
10 years. I think
you'll go up 10 years.
Then you're 40 and she's 50. You're 50, she's 60.
That's okay.
But then the other thing,
then the fact that they age usually older than males really kicks in.
Todd texted, he counts the years in cat years.
I don't know. That's what my mom told me. I don't know if it works that way, but 10 years would be 10 years would. So are we in the range?
Yeah. MTR says Duke already could pass for 40.
I don't know about that. I've been being falsely aged as in my mid 30s since I was about 22, but now that I am in my early 30s, I still just kind of look the same age now.
In Czech, I got twice that I'm barely 30.
Good for you. Well, yeah, that's believable. You're
pissed for the gray hair from my kids. Thank you, kids.
Noel says she's got to be young enough to stay up and watch the Trops, your team.
That's true. Well, actually, no, that's not true at all. No? I would have any woman, like wife or girlfriend, that actually goes to watch their better halves beer league hockey games. They must be so bored.
If you're in a honeymoon stage, sure.
Yeah, maybe,
sure, to show her off. But yeah, after honeymoon stage for 6 to 9 months.
Okay, here's one for you from Jim Laddie, and I don't know what he's talking about, but he's speaking to you. Speaking of hairstylists, give Alexander Daniel some love, Laddie. What's that? Is that your hairstylist?
It's my hairstylist, but he's in downtown, so like it's far for me from Yager. But I need to see Alex. Yeah, he's my top choice.
He's your go-to guy.
Yeah, my hair is awful.
I'll tell you what, if you wanted before you go and went and saw Joanne, my hairstylist, that would be the thrill of her lifetime because she thinks you're the best.
Really, please say hi to her.
And she lives she's actually on the south side.
Really?
So she,
What is the hair studio?
It's in her basement.
It's in the basement.
Yeah.
Don't
give me that look, Laddie.
It's in the basement. Kevin.
Yeah. But she would probably, and I bet she'd give you a deal too.
Sure. I mean,
okay, I'll help you out.
Okay, help me out.
Buck says, I married an older woman. I'm now 60. My wife is 70. We met 42 years ago. We've been married for 36 years. Congratulations.
And
Buck.
congrats, man.
Congrats, yeah.
Duke, see? That's a happy story.
There's hope. There's hope.
Well, is it like...
What, you want it?
No, what about
Duke?
Duke.
Well, I don't think Duke's going to get his hair cut there.
Why not? She can shave him. His hat.
I take care of that myself.
Well,
I'm
then
actually
you-
due.
then you could see her and-
Probably fresh one tonight. Fresh buzz for the
Are ya?
weekend. Yeah.
For the weekend.
Well, 'cause
What's
you
going
got-
on the weekend?
Well, we got
Just
golf
living life.
tomorrow.
Well, yeah, we got big golf match.
You're
Heading
going to play
farm.
27 tomorrow?
You gonna
I'm hoping to. That might be pretty tight for time by the time we wrap up in Leduc if I can make it to Delburne for the tea time my buddy has scheduled there. Be tight.
Well, we'll be off the course. Mind you, Eddie and
Eddie's
Nesket-
slow.
Eddie is such a slow player.
Is he?
Well, half the time he's doing his foot wedges.
He's
and
foot wedging his ball out
you
of the
know,
trees.
So he's like cheating, kicking the ball out of the trees. So
And you let him? You allow it? Well, you don't say anything because he would just...
He'd just beat us up.
Demolish you.
he is
Stuff you in the hole.
Were you here at the point when Eddie was talking about how he would go to gas stations?
No, that was after he left.
So he doesn't know.
Yeah, he's not heard this story.
Well, Eddie, all he does is drive around, like, because he's a salesman, right? So he'll drive around. He packs.
What does
his
he
lunch-
sell?
Like
Chemicals and
like
cleaning solutions,
cleaning
and-
products. And stuff. Anyway, he'll go, and he still does, and he'll have salmon or whatever fish, and he heats them up in the gas station microwaves, and then it stinks up the whole place. And then he doesn't buy a water, he doesn't buy a pop, doesn't buy anything.
Doesn't buy
He
gas.
just
Doesn't buy
uses
gas.
them.
Just uses
Like
the
a
microwave.
cheap...
yeah. So,
But hey, Eddie texted us. He's starting in his travels now after he got real bad pushback on this laddie. He's surveying all the gas stations he goes to and asking them if they actually have any issue with it. And he said he's 2 for 2, and the most recent one was in a small town. He said they didn't care. He said they don't give a lick.
Yeah.
And that's fine. I'm not sure that's the big. It's just almost a courtesy thing.
Why would you just... He just... Like... Just for fish or other...
Well,
no,
whatever he's got
whatever
in
he's
his
got.
container.
And we really harp on the fish thing because
Yeah.
that is obviously the worst iteration of this. That's not very often,
No.
according to Eddie. He says that's very rare that he'll have leftover
remember-
tuna or something.
So-
Oh no.
I said that in Czech and they were dying laughing. Don't worry, I'm gonna say it on the air. But yeah, good for him. And Eddie likes to use people then.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Well, we'll see what he's probably going to take his lunch to the golf course tomorrow and heat it up in the microwave there.
Why doesn't he eat at the golf course?
Because it's Eddie.
Are you calling him cheap?
No.
Yes.
Yes. No, Eddie's not cheap, but he opened this can of worms.
Why would
Or
he
you call
come
it a
up
can
with-
of tuna. He opened his can of
Can
tuna
of-
and then we just sort of run with it a little bit. But
What about the listeners?
they love
have
it
a
too.
heyday?
Yeah. Oh, they keep coming on it. Yeah. Like even guys are talking
He
about
has defenders. There are people on his side. Other people that travel for work frequently, they say that this is totally above board and there's no problem with it at all.
He actually sent a text out yesterday, didn't he?
That's what I was saying. He said he found another. He did his second, so this was at lunch last Thursday at the Chinese food buffet. And he's like, "Yeah, just so you guys know, I've been doing some surveying about this whole food in the microwave issue, and it's not as bad as you guys think. Oh, I've only asked one person so far, but keep that."
Just one person.
Now he's up to 2. He's
I
up to
just
2.
don't see any gas stations having. But once in a while, I would just buy a pop or something, you know? Like
that was our whole argument.
Like thanks, guys. Like here's a Coke or
it was
I don't
great
know,
to have
water.
you back, laddie. That was got lots of
Always
fun.
a pleasure.
So we'll
Next week we have to do it earlier, guys.
Why? What time?
I have ball hockey, like
so what?
little ball hockey with kids at Rogers, 8:30 to 10, if possible, or no?
Yeah, we can do that. We'll do 8:40 to 10.
Yeah.
Next Thursday.
Yeah, because from here I have to be at the Rogers at 10:30.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Or if you want to you come in a little earlier, you can talk to Frank because he's on at 8:20.
Oh,
so we'll do
maybe.
come in at 8:20. You and Frank.
I'll try.
You
Yeah.
and Frank. It'll be your last hurrah.
Why? Oh, did you get into it?
No, well, no, but because you're leaving.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Okay, sure.
Very good, laddie.
Okay,
Have a
thanks,
great
guys.
weekend. We'll
You
see you
too.
next week.
Okay, bye.
Coming up at the top of the hour, it's Fantasy Frenzy with
the former Rochep T-Bird.
Connor Halley and the Duke of Delburne at 12 o'clock. It's the lowdown with Alan Mitchell. 2 till 6. Jason Greger drives us home. We'll have Fox Sports all night long. We'll be back with you tomorrow morning at 7 bells with Eddie Steele to wrap up the work week. Until then, time now for a Sports 1440 update brought to you by AWS Welding Supplies in Nisku. Product sales, servicing, calibrating, free same-day delivery of in-stock items to Leduc, Nisku, and South Edmonton. Your one-stop shop for all things welding, awswelding.ca. Check them out. Thanks, everyone, for listening. Really appreciate it. And thanks for all the great texts. Could not do it without you with all the super interaction. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your Thursday. We'll see you back tomorrow at 7 bells with Eddie Steele. Until then, here is the Duke.
The Sports 1440 update.
Just one game in the Stanley Cup playoffs tonight. The Hurricanes head to Philly to take on the Flyers. Carolina touting a 2-0 series lead. Puck drop just after 6 o'clock. Off the ice, finalists for this year's Norris Trophy League's top defensemen have been announced. Rasmus Dahlin of the Sabres, Zach Werenski out of Columbus, and Cale Makar, several-time winner of the Colorado Avalanche, are your 3 finalists. In the PWHL tonight, playoff action resuming with Montreal in Minnesota. Puck drop just after 5 o'clock. That series tied at 1 game apiece. And in the association, Cleveland heads back to Detroit to take on the Pistons, trailing 1-0 in that best-of-7 tip-off at 5. And at 7:30, the OKC Thunder leading the Lakers 1-0 tip-off for game number 2. Lighter day in the majors, several teams in transit. Currently, Yankees taking on the Texas Rangers, Twins, and Nationals coming up just after the top of the hour. And later on, Cubbies hosting the Reds, Mets in Colorado, Baltimore taking on the Marlins, and Boston hosting Tampa Bay. Coming up on Sports 1440, it is Fantasy Frenzy with Hallie and Douglas. I'm Brendan Douglas at your Sports 1440 update.
Sports 14